basketball is being brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light, taking the country by storm. Subaru, it's what to drive. Coca-Cola Classic, you can't beat the real thing. Seafirst Bank, isn't it time to switch to Seafirst? Alaska Airlines, again and again. Frequent travelers rate Alaska the best airline in the U.S. Safeway, they take service personally. GTE, the power is on. Jack in the Box, always something new. Jeep and Eagle, the official vehicles of the NBA. And by high-performance Citgo gasoline, available at your participating 7-Eleven.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. Kevin Calabro and Bob Blackburn tonight on the simulcast. Welcome again to Sonics basketball tonight. The Sonics with an 18-19 road record, already tied for the 5th best in franchise history, take on the Lakers, a team that they lead in the season series 2-1. They lead the Lakers right now by 2 games. The Sonics currently in the 6th spot, a game and a half ahead of the Clippers, who are in 7th. They are down 12 after 3 in Chicago. Last night, the Sonics, trailing late in the 3rd by 11, came up with an outstanding performance from Nate McMillan. Count them up. Big game for Nate. Nate McMillan with the 9 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Sean Kemp went to work inside 20 minutes. Should have fresh legs tonight. He had 11 boards against Sacramento last night. And Derek McKee came up with 20 points and 5 rebounds, all in the victory for the Sonics, making them 10 games over 500, 42-32 on the year. We'll be back to take a look at the keys in a moment when Bob Blackburn joins us here from the Forum in L.A. on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
Time now for the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Puget Sound Jeep and Eagle dealers, where you'll find the Jeep you've always wanted. Jeep and Eagle, the official vehicles of the NBA.
Back in Los Angeles, Kevin Calabro now joined by Bob Blackburn and the old keys to the game segment here on the program, folks, where you get inspiration and wisdom. And what about it, Bob?
Well, Kevin, there was a time when you wouldn't say you wanted to come into the Forum in Inglewood with the Lakers and run with the Lakers or try to outrun them.
No.
Tonight, my key is establish the tempo early. This is not one of those games you want to fall behind the Lakers, and I think you can run with them. They are a low-scoring team. They're a half-court team now, something they have never been before. If you can come out and run against them, maybe not right off the bat, but gradually ease into it in that first quarter, and get out to the lead if you possibly can tonight, because I'd hate to see the Sonics have to fight from way behind in this one.
Well, you hope they have the fresh springs
right
to enable them to do that tonight. Of course, a back-to-back ball game. Sean Kemp only played 20 minutes last night, but still had a gangbuster game. 8 points, 11 rebounds in the 20 minutes. Remember, he picked up the 3 fouls in the first quarter. He's been DQ'd, disqualified in 13 games this year, but the point is he's had early foul trouble. And I think if George is able to bring him off, say, at the 6 or 7 minute mark of the first quarter, Bob, and allow him to play in the 3rd and especially down the stretch in the 4th, Sonics have a pretty good chance of controlling the boards. And we talked to George earlier tonight. George Karl felt that controlling the glass, getting after it, especially on the offensive end against the Lakers, would be key tonight for his club.
Well, I think, and here we say the name Michael Cage. Sean Kemp, you know what he's going to do. Michael Cage has had double rebounds in every game against the Lakers this year. So Michael and Sean, 2 keys tonight. Real big ones.
Well, let's take a look at the Laker personnel. Vlade Divac is going to be checked tonight by Derek McKee. Again, Derek going up against a bigger guy in the middle, but they figured Divac is more of a finesse player.
The Sonics are 2-0 with McKee going up against the big centers. Why not keep it that way? I like it myself, and I think Derek enjoys it.
Nate McMillan, the defensive ace on the front line against A.C. Green. He is probably their best rebounder, so Nate's going to have to get busy and use position tonight on Green.
It's going to be interesting tonight. Nate is not going to be guarding a guy who is a scorer, keeping him from scoring, but keeping him off of the boards is a big thing with A.C.
We'll be back to take a look at the matchup, the Sonics and the Lakers, and the tip here in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. To Sonics basketball on our simulcast from Inglewood, California. Kevin Calabro and Bob Blackburn on hand here tonight to welcome you into what we think is going to be a very important game for the Seattle Supersonics. 6th best right now in the West. They've got a 2-game lead right now on the Lakers, and a win here tonight for the Sonics would give them a 3-1 edge in the season series. Thus, they would win the season series with 1 game remaining in Seattle. It is time now to take a look at the Subaru starting lineups, brought to you by Subaru. It's what to drive. Ricky Pierce and Byron Scott, the shooting guards tonight. At the point position, Gary Payton will be checking the Sonic of a year ago, Sadeo Threet. In the middle tonight, Derek McKee will get the assignment on Vlade Divac. And along the front line, Nate McMillan trying to keep A.C. Green off the glass, while Michael Cage will muscle inside with Eldon Campbell, the 2-year pro. The coach of the Sonics is George Karl, now in his 5th year of NBA coaching. In his first with the Sonics, he has led this team to a 22-12 mark under his leadership from North Carolina, the class of '73. Mike Dunleavy, in his 2nd year with the Los Angeles Lakers, now 97-57 with this ball club, and he is from South Carolina, the New York kid from South Carolina. Our officials tonight are Jess Kersey, Jimmy Clark, and Mike Callahan. Bob Blackburn is on hand with us tonight. What do you see in this one, Bob?
Well, Kevin, there's always an air of anticipation when you play the Lakers at the Forum. They have been one of the big teams, one of the premier teams of the NBA for many, many years. And frankly, Seattle's had trouble winning on this floor. 12 times they have won down here and lost 60. Now, I think the players feel that tonight is one of those nights they can win despite it being a back-to-backer. The last time they won down here was the end of the 86-87 season. Remember the last game of the year at 110-104. So they have a bit of a losing streak they'd like to snap out of here, and what a big game this is. Forget those losses. Tonight, a win. It's big, big for the Sonics.
Tonight's overhead camera shot brought to you by the Upper Deck Company. Nobody does basketball like Upper Deck. Nice shot of the combatants meeting at center court here at the Great Western Forum. We mentioned that the Clippers were in Chicago tonight where they trailed by 12 after 3 quarters. McKee and Campbell will jump it up as we get this game underway. It's directed into backcourt, and immediately Jess Kersey off the ball calls another jump. And we will send McKee and Campbell again back to the circle to get things started. The Sonics and the Lakers, ironically, have the same road record, both at 18 and 19. 7th best in the NBA, but 3rd best in the West. Here's the ball tapped away by 3. Controlled by McMillan. Lead pass to Pierce. Breaks into the lane. Left the layup short. Grabbed by Divac. Rolls it out to Green. He'll bring it across midcourt. Now Green centers it to Divac. Hands off here to Threet. Threet bumps it over forecourt right. Campbell with it. Topside Divac. Tried to feed it low to Green. Intercepted by McMillan. Stepped in front. 3 on 2. Cage on his left. Pierce on his right. Over to Cage. Pull-up jumper. Got it. Michael Cage trades it as the Sonics again on the turnover. Bring it down. The Lakers with 2 turnovers here early in the first half minute of play. And the Sonics lead 2-0. Sedale Threet backpedals along the near sideline. Threet working with it, looking out on top for Scott, down deep. We've got illegal defense called against the Sonics, and it comes in the first minute of play here in the first quarter. And already George Karl's out there trying to explain his interpretation of the rule to the officials.
Interestingly, those 2 turnovers so quickly against the Lakers, they are the lowest team in the league in turnovers per game, averaging only 12.6. A half-court team that controls the ball well. And Bobby Kloppenberg said Seattle probably wouldn't be double-teaming and trapping too much, but they have the 2 quick turnovers.
Last couple of games, the Sonics have gotten bundles of points off those turnovers. Here's Threet, here's sideline. Spins into the lane, double team by McMillan and McKee. Quickly over to Scott, open jumper. Traded from the angle about 20 feet out. And we're tied at 2-2. Payton across midcourt, long lead pass into forecourt. McMillan wastes no time. He'll hoist one up and let it go, and he drilled it. Nate McMillan nails that jumper to put the Sonics on top 4-2. Bobbled inbounds pass. McKee gobbles it up. Loops up the hook, missed it. Payton follows into the lane, pushes up a shot, anticipating a foul, won't get it. Walk is called on Gary. McKee was almost surprised to find that ball right in his lap as Divac on the exchange to Threet on the inbounds pass. Caught Threet apparently unaware. And McKee twisted up with a shot. Payton for the follow, but walked with it. Sonics lead 4-2, 10:39 to go. First quarter, 3 with it. Sedale Threet, right-hand side of the key. Threet backpedals, bumps, stops. Runs it cross-court over to Scott. Byron Scott directs traffic with the left palm. Dribbling now with the left hand. He puts it down inside the 3-point perimeter. Leaning on a McMillan. 3 on the shot clock. Over to Threet. Will not get off his shot. He will not get off his shot. Turnover to the Lakers. Their 4th here in the first minute and a half of the ball game. 10:21 to go. Sonics take it back, leading 4-2.
Boy, I tell you, the only thing is the Sonics have to convert. They've had 2 fairly easy chances on close-in shots. Didn't convert them. Now if they can start converting turnovers, that's the main thing.
McMillan off the Cage pick, rolls into the key, hands to Ricky, hesitates off the McMillan pick. Forced out wide on a jump switch by Green. Pierce backs in, turns, spins to the lane. Count the basket. He is fouled. Ricky Pierce will go to the free throw line. Ricky Pierce steps up. The Sonics leading 6-2 and off to a good start here with 2 minutes elapsed in the first quarter.
Boys, to watch the Sonics on defense, I mean, the offense, of course, they're going to be moving right now, and Ricky does a nice job of getting in there for that little loop shot down the lane. But on defense, the Sonics don't look leg tired at all yet.
Real early in this game, Pierce to the line, flips it up, he got it. Ricky Pierce. Well, it's key that the Sonics get as much as possible out of their starters tonight. Here's Threet, forecourt right, double teamed over to Scott, 3-pointer in the air, rims the back lip, rebound gathered in by Derek McKee at 5 boards last night. Yo-yos are dribbled across midcourt, switches right to left hand, and they see he turned it over. So a turnover to the Sonics.
That's a lot of turnovers, 6 turnovers between the 2 teams there in the first 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Seattle leading by 5, 7-2, 9:50 to go here in the first quarter of play. Glad you could join us. for this simulcast tonight here from Los Angeles. Down the wing comes Street, bust to the inline, forces his way to the glass, hustles one over Gary and lays it up and in. Street with his first deuce, averaging close to 15 points a ball game. Payton quickly hustles it up into the wing to McMillan. Outside to Pierce. Drills the jumper over Divac's left-hand side of the key. Ricky Pierce off to a nice start. He has 5, and the Sonics lead 9-4. 9-2-3 left here in the first quarter. Sedale Threet working forecourt right. Red jet ball between the legs. Divac coming up to screen. Now Threet will back step, hoist up the jumper from the head of the key and through. Sedale Threet with that back step jumper of his. He has perfected that thing. 9-6 the count. 9:03 to go first quarter. Forecourt left with it. McMillan. David the ball high overhead. Flips it to Ricky. Up fakes. Glides by Divac. Lost to Hannibal. Right to Cage. Wrap around pass. Too fancy off Threet's thigh. Picked up on the carom by Gary. His jumper off the mark. Cage has the weak side. Rebound out to McMillan. Over to Ricky for a 3. Let it go. Rick, he missed it. Came up short. Rebound tapped away and controlled inside by Eldon Campbell. 9-6 the count. Boy, the Sonics have got the offensive glass, something that they felt they had to do. 8:39 to go here in the first period. Sonics by 3. Who scored the last 2 trips down the floor, sends it to Campbell. Quickly over to Scott. Shakes left, moves right, knifes in, double team, squeezes between defenders, Cage and McKee. Foul is assessed to McKee, and it will send Byron Scott to the free throw line.
You're going to find the Lakers doing a lot of slashing and driving inside. The Sonics do want to cut off the middle as much as they possibly can, but one of the interesting things about this, the Lakers on their drives, Kevin, taking the ball inside. Get this figure. They have gone to the free throw line this year 468 more times than their opponents. That is an imposing number.
Especially in the absence of Magic Johnson.
Right.
It's an automatic pass to the left of Magic, but without Magic, you're right. That's an unbelievable stat.
I didn't even believe it when I read it today. I had to double check the stat sheet twice.
Scott hits the free throw. He steps up for another. From Arizona State, Byron Scott shooting 84% at the line. Second one up, got him. So Byron Scott with 4. Sonics lead 9-8. 8:25 to go here in the first quarter of play. A lot of empty seats here at the Forum tonight. Late arriving LA crowd, maybe. Pierce, left-hand side of the key, covered by Scott. Anticipating a double team, trying to loop it in the corner to Gary, overthrow him out of bounds. Turnover to the Sonics. Lakers take it back.
Tell you one thing worries me a little bit. Sonics are having about as many turnovers as the Lakers, and the Sonics are not converting their turnovers as yet.
Now with it, here is Threet, forecourt right. On him is Gary Payton. Gary searching him. On top it comes to Divac. Divac back to Threet near side. Fakes right, moves left, pull-up jumper from the head of the key. Glances off glass. Divac managed to bat it free. Got it. Lowers it to Green. He will lay it up and in. A.C. Green with his first deuce. 10-9 the count. Lakers by 9. Pierce slams to the inline on the hard dribble. Double team. Loops it out on top to McKee. Touch passes over to McMillan. Let's go with 3 that rims off the backside. Gathered in on the inline by Campbell. He'll dispatch it to Scott. Hippity hops by Pierce, and he apparently turned the basketball over. Boy, a lot of palming of the ball. Twice called by Jess Kersey. We've not seen that call all year, except for, well, in a couple instances I can think of offhand.
I was going to say, and that one was created a little bit by the pressure defense the Sonics are putting on there on the sidelines.
Here's Payton with it now. Sonics trailing by 1, 7:27 to go, first period. Payton to Pierce, breaks into the lane. He's deep. 10-footer, got it. Ricky Pierce. Pierce with 7. 11-10 the score. The Sonics on top. 7:18 to go, first quarter play. Threet feeds it out. Campbell forced out wide. He'll get it. Spins. Leans in on a 10-footer. Nothing but court for Eldon Campbell. Campbell from Clemson picks up his first 2. Quite a score at Clemson. 12-11 the count. Lakers by 1. 7 minutes to go in the first period. McMillan drops a low to McKee. Back to the basket. Divac leaning on him. Batting at the ball. Green now comes over to double. Driving McKee out wide. He'll hook pass low. McMillan's all along with a 2-handed rim rattling jam. Nate McMillan. McMillan on a fine feed from McKee, making the Lakers pay for the double team. 13-12 the score. Sonics on top. Here's Threet, blast to the inline, turned away by Payton, forced down beyond the three-point ring, fakes a pass low. Green is posted, McMillan fronts him, denies him the ball. They give it to Divac. He dribbles inside, skips a low pass, kicked away in there, they say, by McMillan. And I believe the Lakers will take it back. Timeout call on the floor indeed on the kickball charge to the Sonics. 6:30 to go in the first. Sonics 13, Lakers 12 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Sonics basketball is being brought to you in part by your Puget Sound Volkswagen dealers. 6:30 remaining in the first quarter from Los Angeles. The Sonics are leading the Lakers 13-12.
Seattle off to a hot shooting start. They've shot better than 50% the last 2 games, 51 last night and 58 the night before. 55% for Seattle, 6 out of 11. The Lakers, 71%, 5 for 7. Not shooting both teams.
Byron Scott handles it outside as the Sonics contain the Laker inbounds pass. Scott, forecourt right, skips it low. Divac double teamed. Outside, he'll zing it to Threet. Sends it to Campbell on the inline. Stripped on the ball by McMillan. He picked his pocket. Pretty as you please. Across midcourt, the jump pass over to Kemp. Kemp doubled on the inline. Outside of McMillan. Swing it over to Gary. Gary Payton into the lane. Dances. Tried to force the pass over to McKee. Broken up by Threet. Tapped into the hands of Scott. Byron will take it across midcourt. Lunging for the ball is Payton. Scott will split the D. Pull up jumper. No. Rebound. Sean Kemp. Kemp is in on the front line with McKee, with McMillan. Pierce and Payton are the guards. Pierce is out on the far sideline in front of his own bench. Seattle leading by 1. Cross-court pass McKee for 3. Up in the air, off the mark. There's Gary Payton with rebound position. But Threet reached around from behind to jam it out of bounds. So Seattle will take it back with 22 on the shot clock. 5:42 to play in the first quarter. And leading the Lakers 13-12. Payton's pass. No sooner did it get out of his 2 hands and Threet bats it out of bounds. Good play. Payton and line left with the inbounds pass. Looking for a man breaking to the basket. The second option is Pierce outside. He'll pop out, get it. Threet slaps it free. Pierce picks it up, struggles, double team. Goes airborne with a jump pass that glances off Derek McKee's hands. He was beneath the basket and goes out of bounds. Another Sonic turnover. That is the 5th of the evening doings here for the Sonics, who have a 1-point lead at 13-12. 5:29 to go in the first quarter. Threet circles off the Divac pick. Now Payton switches up and Divac fronts him inside. Outside, McKee picks up Threet off the ball. We've got an illegal defensive call against the Sonics. This time a technical foul called against Seattle. The Lakers will take a free throw and possession. 5:20 remaining.
Sonics have had a lot of those illegal defensive calls the last 2 or 3 games. I'm not sure if there's something new they're trying with their defense or whether it's something that is just simply missing his assignment back there. But they've had a lot of them the last 3 or 4 games.
George Karl, I think, is a little bit mystified as well. He brings Sean Kemp over to the bench and chats with Sean momentarily as Scott goes to the line to tie it with the free throw. 13-13 is your score. Scott with the toss has 5 on the evening. 5:20 remaining in the first quarter. Now Mike Dunleavy has palms up, and he is chatting long distance with Jess Kersey about the interpretation of the rule. I think the red-handed official is telling Mike, hey, we just gave you a free throw possession of the ball. What are you getting on my case about? So Jimmy Clark now will take it over here along the sideline. He'll hand off to A.C. Green, and the Lakers will bring it inbounds. Green, the fine pro from the Northwest, swings it out on top to Divac. They'll hand off here to Threet. Threet beyond the three-point ring. Yo-yos that dribble, brings it between the wickets to the left to right hand, gives it over to Scott, forecourt right. Scott lobbing inside. Campbell's got it, turns up with a jump hook, in and out, and finally in again. Campbell got one to rock in there. He has 4. 15-13 the count. Pierce the other way. Crossover right to left hand. Dribble draws to D. Over to Kemp. Powers to the inline. Muscled in on Divac. Charge on Kemp. First foul on Sean at the 4:57 mark of the first quarter with the Lakers on top 15-13.
And the Sonics, Kevin, are negating all of their great defensive work with 6 turnovers. They first, here's Sean as he comes along the baseline. You can see that shoulder just go down and ram right into Divac. Each team now with 6 turnovers, so the Sonics have negated their great defensive effort.
Well, they're going to put a bit of offense in there now. The nuclear sub, Eddie Johnson, comes in along with Kemp and McKee on the front line. Payton and Pierce are the guards. Here's Scott. Blasts in with a running right-hander. The basket is fouled in midair. The foul assessed to Pierce is first, and Byron Scott with 7 points goes to the line.
Well, here again, we talked about the Lakers slashing in, and they're going to do a lot of driving and going to the free throw line. As Scott came in, he kind of store-copped on that ball. He was a little off balance, but nevertheless pulled the foul. I was surprised he was able to have control, make the shot. Good play by Scott.
Boy, it didn't look like Ricky got much of Byron on that one, so Sir Byron to the line. He drilled it. Byron with 8. 18-13. How about that? The Lakers with a 5-point lead. Sonics led by 5 early in this first quarter. 4:40 to go. Payton on the point. Out it comes to Pierce beyond the three-point ring. Jab steps right, takes a right, pull up 15-foot over 3. He had a piece of it, and he also had some of Ricky's skin. Now, folks, this will send Ricky Pierce to the line for the first time in 2 games. He has not been to the line in the last 2 contests. He attempted 24 shots last night at Sacramento and did not get a foul shot. Figure that one out.
Interestingly, on this one, he pulled up. He didn't go all the way to the hoop. Now, he was slashing and driving hard all of the way last night and seemingly getting pretty well manhandled. This time he pulled up at the free throw line and was able to pick up the physical contact.
We asked Ricky why he didn't fuss and fume and scream at the officials today at practice. He said, "That's not me."
That's right.
You got to be who you are. And he's a great free throw shooter when they allow him to get up there.
Pretty good philanthropist, too.
Yeah, he's got 9. 18-15 the count. 4:28 to go in the first quarter. Here's Divac with it. Divac outside the 3, beyond the 3-point range, tosses over to Scott. Byron Scott working with the left hand, fitting off Payton with the right. Hands to Green out beyond the 3-point ring. Johnson sneaks up on him in a low defensive crouch. Over it comes to Payton. Checked by Kemp on a jump switch. Down low, that leaves Campbell battling Payton. He fronts him. Scott drives inside, lost the handle on it. And they call a foul, and they bail out the Lakers just as time had expired on the shot clock. And this will send Byron Scott to the line. The foul is on Payton. That is his first, and it is the third team foul on the Sonics.
Boy, I'll tell you, they're sending this Scott to the line. He's up there as 4 for 4, perfect at the foul line already for the Lakers tonight.
Byron Scott from Arizona State University stands 6'5", 14 points, 4 rebounds per ball game, shooting 45% from the field, 84% from the line. 47 of 137, 34% from three-point range. Scott drills the free throw. He's got 9. It is a mystery to me, Bob, with all the injuries that the Lakers have had, that they are 6 games still over 500 at 39-33 for the year.
Well, one of the other things, too, they're the 19th worst free throw shooting team in the league. As many times as they've gone to the line, they still have not taken as good advantage as they might have.
Scott hit the first, missed the second. 19-15, Lakers by 4, 4:03 to go in the first quarter. Worthy out for the rest of the year. Strained left knee, arthroscopic surgery, and Perkins has a sprained shoulder, and he is out and on the injured list. Pierce left side, double team, centers it to Johnson, over to Cage, raises up with a baseline touch. He got it. Michael Cage with 4 points. He has hammered that baseline jumper in twice here tonight. Lakers lead of 5, now trimmed to a deuce. 3:41 to go, first quarter. Green is outside. AC looking low. Scott comes off the Divac pick, pops out on the far side. Down low, Campbell. Covered by Pierce. They feed it right-hand side of the lane. Divac, reverse pivot, up with a hook. Missed it from 10. Rebound loose to the floor. Who's going to get it? Cage deflected it. Then it looked like Campbell had a paw on it. Went out of bounds. Mike Callahan said, no, give it to the Lakers. You make up your own mind at home.
Ooh. That was a bad call.
Here's the inbounds pass now to Campbell, and immediately a foul called. You guessed it, on the Sonics. It is on Gary Payton. That is the second foul on Gary Payton. 4th team foul on the Sonics, a non-shooter. 3:25 to go in the first quarter. Lakers lead the Sonics by 2.
Gary Payton, early foul trouble last night. We'll have to see a little more of Dana Barris again this evening.
And McMillan, of course, moving over to the point with, I think, maybe Dana going to the 2. We'll see. Forecourt right, Scott with it now. Lakers lead by a deuce. Scott pumps one over to 3, to high pass, and Hill cannot corral it off his fingertips, out of bounds, and he ends up in the laps of some folks over there in the front row. We've got a timeout on the floor with 3:11 to play in the first period. The score, Lakers 19, Sonics 17 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Time now to take a look at what's on tap by Miller Genuine Draft. The Sonics' next 2 home games are April 7th against the Los Angeles Lakers, and then on April 9th against the Phoenix Suns. Call Ticketmaster at 628-0888. Well, the score, the Lakers 19, the Sonics 17, and the numbers are very good from the shooting standpoint.
Well, Sonics hitting 54% and L.A. hitting 64%. And while we speak of L.A., the score is just in on the Clippers. They lose tonight at Chicago, 114-103. So the Sonics, with a win tonight, would have a chance to pick up another full game on the Clippers. But here's another one, Kevin. In the fourth quarter at San Antonio, the Orlando Magic leading San Antonio 99-93. So if the Sonics could win this one, they could be a half a game out of 5th place in the Western Conference playoff race. Big things happening tonight.
Oh, a lot of shaking going on, as they say. 3:11 to go. Who was it that said? Was that Jerry Lee Lewis?
Shaking and baking, you betcha.
It was. Lakers lead by 2. Here's Payton outside. He's got all Jerry Lee's records. Move top of the side of the key. Now gets to Johnson near wing. Let's go with a bomb. Missed it. Rattles in and out. Campbell with the rebound. Sonics have Dana Barros in the lineup now, along with Payton, Cage, Kemp, and Johnson. Freed handles it outside. Lakers stay with their starting 5. Green on top. Down low. Campbell open. Jump hook up. No. Rimmed off. Covered by Kemp over the back of Payton. Up it comes to Gary. Gary threads through traffic with a left-hand dribble. Flips it ahead to Eddie Johnson. Johnson twists that ball in the palms. Backs down. Whirls to the inline. Covered by Green. Leans back. Beautiful reverse up and in. Eddie Johnson taking AC Green deep. And we're tied at 19-all with 2:28 to go in the first period. Freed hesitates across midcourt. Change of face dribble down the sideline. Zigzag, double team. Oh, nice play. Barros lunged down with the right hand. Tapped it free. Bats it ahead to Johnson. He'll take it in. Cradles the ball. Delivers the goods to Kemp. Up fake. Spins into the air. Lay it up and in. Sean Kemp. Kemp with a deuce on a fine little feed from Eddie Johnson, set up on a defensive play by Barrows. Here's one turnover that the Sonics did capitalize on to take the lead on 21-19. So Seattle 5 down, rallies to take the 2-point lead with a minute 58 to go first quarter. Freed off the pick of Green. Feeds out to Divac. Down low. Green has backdoor position. He'll catch and shoot and lay it up in air. A.C. Green got caught with Barrows down there trying to front him. And they exploited the mismatch beautifully to tie it at 21 all. Barrows rockets a pass out, head of the key to Johnson. Over to Cage in the corner. Back outside to E.J. Covered by A.C. Green. Takes him baseline right. Ball batted free, loose. Eddie picks it up, and they say walk with the basketball. So a turnover to the Sonics will allow Nate McMillan to slip into the lineup here now. As Sonics will have McMillan, Barrows, Johnson, Kemp, and Cage on the floor. And Terry Teagle will get a shot now for the Lakers as Vlade Divac will come out. So the Lakers going a bit smaller now, Bob.
Well, they plan to do that. They've done that a lot in recent games, but I'll tell you, if any team can match them going small, it's the Sonics.
Divac obviously coming off means Green moves to the center, or maybe Campbell. At any rate, Cage will cover Green. Green handles it out in the key, covered by Barrows, over to Green. Green out wide, comes off the Teagle pick, jump switch out, McMillan on Green. Green tried to cast one off to Teagle, deflected by McMillan out. Bounds along that Laker bench. 7 on the shot clock now for the Lakers. 21-21, a minute 15 to go in the first period. Terry Teagle out of Garland, Texas. Grew up right alongside Ricky Pierce. Brings it into 3. He'll elevate. Long J. Not this time. Off the backside. Grabbed by Sean Kemp in midair. Man, he's just covered up there like a big old Sikorsky helicopter. Here's McMillan now to Johnson. Back to McMillan. Long lead pass off to the far side. It's Cage. Swing it right, take it left. Cuts in. Hands to E.J. Double. Outside to Dana. Will he take the 3? Nope. Cast it over to McMillan. 4 court left. McMillan down low to Kemp. Over the top comes Campbell for the steal. Looked like he deflected it off the body of Kemp then and out of bounds, and the Lakers will take over on the Sonic turnover.
Well, I can't believe this. 8 turnovers for each team, 16 turnovers in the first quarter. Would you say it's a little sloppy so far?
I would say so. 21-21 the count. That's the good news. The stalemate, 42 all. 42 seconds remaining in the period. 3 into the lane. Underhand look is under good. Scoop shot on the dribble drive by 3. Puts the Lakers on top by 2, 23-21. 3 with a half dozen. Now Nate McMillan with it. Nate takes the pass left, looking right. He's used up the dribble over to Kemp. Seesaws right, takes it left, cuts inside. They're going to call the foul, and we've got a blocking foul. This one will be on Eldon Campbell, I believe. Yeah, he was the man that tried to stand ground in there as Kemp moved to the hole.
Yeah, some of the Sonics started walking up court. I thought maybe they felt that Sean was going to be guilty bit on this one. Well, what it was, on that play, A.C. Green kind of turned, was pivoting at the time. Did they call it on Campbell, you saying?
Yeah, Campbell came up over the top there with the arm and actually draped him around Sean, but he misses the first free throw. He'll get another. Lakers by 2, 23 seconds remaining in the first. Kemp's second one up. Got it. Sean Kemp with 3 points here in the early going. Now the Sonics apply a bit of pressure, but Green will break it, dribbling down the sideline, sneaking by Kemp. He'll skip it outside. His Street will handle it in the half court. 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Lakers, low-scoring team, 24th overall in the league, 100 points per ball game. Right now controlling tempo in this contest. Freed outside, long jumper, grazed and batted. Good block by Cage. Picked up by Kemp. Advanced to Johnson. 3 fell. Johnson took it inside, laid it up, and it does not count. He did not get it up there in time. And that ends the first quarter with the Lakers on top by 1. The score, the Lakers 23, the Sonics 22 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Look at that last play. Watch the clock on the right. 1 and 1 there. 1 full second. Eddie Johnson into the lane with 1. Did he get it off? He did not. Good call by Jess Kersey. He did not get off the shot in time. 000 showing as Eddie's hand just did leave that basketball.
Boy, that's about as close as you can get it. Well, let's hope the action cleans up a little bit. The one thing that I'm a little bit fearful about in the game right now, the Sonics had wanted to get the tempo established early. They have not. The Lakers have established a half-court tempo. It's a slow-down game right now, a very close, low-scoring game. This is what the Sonic coaching staff did not want.
23-22, Barrows out, fakes the 3, drives inside, dishes outside to Johnson, pumps it over to Cage in the baseline, back to Dana, long hoist up and off the mark. Kemp grabs the rebound on the baseline. It's batted loose to the corner. Kemp will field it, drop it low to Johnson, bobbled it, but managed to tip it outside of McMillan. He'll hand to Barrows, plants his feet for 3, won't take it. Hustles to the point, double teamed out to McMillan. Quickly, Teagle hustles over to get him, down low. They go to Cage, spins inside with a left-hand runner. But Tony Smith is there to handcuff him, and it will send Michael Cage to the free throw line. Tony Smith, in his second year out of Marquette, in the lineup, along with Terry Teagle and A.C. Green. Eldon Campbell will stay on as well, Bob.
I'll say the low-scoring game is epitomized by the low number of rebounds. The Sonics had the boards 8-5. Interestingly, the field goal shooting exactly the same for both clubs. 9 for 16, 56%.
Sonic shooting in the ball game now 4 of 5. Michael's free throws up and off the mark. Sonics had committed 8 turnovers for 12 Laker points. Cage hits the free throw. The second one is good. And we are tied at 23-all with 11:25 left here in the second period. Both teams had 5-point leads in the first quarter. Both teams, as Bob mentioned, 9 of 16, 56% shooting in the first quarter. And both teams turned that ball over on some wacky-looking plays. Smith to the inline, hands off to Teagle. Forced outside on a switch. Barros is on Teagle, up takes him. Now will flip one up just in time. It expired on the shot clock. Rebound on the weak side by the 6'2 Smith. Outside for Byron Scott, and a three-point attempt, no go. Eldon Campbell strips the ball away from his teammate Green, went into the air, and his shot is blocked away in there. I think Michael or Sean had a piece of it to deflect it out. Lakers will take it.
Now the Sonics trying to jam things up in the middle in this particular case. That was the ball Nate McMillan reached over. Nate McMillan was the guy who got his hand on there. Nice play.
Cage from behind there with the left hand slapping down on it. So good swarming defense. Scott now will bring it inbounds. Byron Scott looking for Divac. He'll come to the ball. Byron now coming over here to the top side. Watch out for Scott. He seems to be the focus. 9 points in the first quarter. Smith handles it on the wing. Down low to Divac. Running at him is Kemp. Tried to hand off to Green. Poked away. Barros will take it. Up into the lane. Spins away and reverses right to left hand and scoops it up off glass. Dana Barros with his first 2. 25-23. 10:31 to go in the second period. The Sonics right now defensively have hiked it up a notch here in the early going. Teagle threads a nice pass over to Smith down the left side. He caught and immediately got off the shot, banked it in left side from 5. Smith's first 2. 25-all as Barros breaks into the key. Turned away by the defender Byron Scott. Feeds over to McMillan. Fakes the pass low. Dribble drive inside. Tried to loop it up from the belt buckle over to Kemp. It's deflected out of bounds before Sean could get there. Nice touch by Laker. Seattle ball with 13 on the shot clock. Sedale Treat will come in to give Byron Scott a breather. 25-25 the score. 10:09 to go in the second period. Barros will swing it into McMillan. 12 on the shot clock for Nate. 10 for Eddie. Runs right side. Pull-up jumper. Lean back over Divac. Nailed it. Eddie Johnson. Johnson with 4. First jumper that he's coaxed in tonight. 27-25. The Sonics leading by a deuce. 9:54 to go in the first half. Here comes Street. Barrels down the near side. McMillan turns him. Street skips a sidearm pass down low. Divac dribbles in with the left hand. Leads it for Teagle. It's reverse blocked in there by Cage, and Michael grabs the basketball. Boy, Cage defensively has had his hands on that basketball tonight. McMillan now will steer it ahead here to Barros. Chest passes back to Nate. Nate McMillan glancing inside. Fires a rocket over to Johnson. Cuts inside. Minus slip. Yo-yos the dribble. Works right-hand side of the key. Over it comes to Kemp. Up fakes. Divac into the air. And illegal defense called off the ball by Jess Kersey on the Lakers. It's a warning on the Lakers. Sonics will bring it inbounds with the fresh 24 on the shot clock.
You know, when you talk about the game being a little bit sloppy, some of this has been because both teams are really playing some intense defense tonight. Neither offense is clicking very well, though.
Well, boy, those Sonics missed. Well, Ricky missed a lay-in on the first possession, and Derek missing a shot inside. That's been tough. Johnson, right-hand side of the key, feeds over to McMillan. Outside, darts off the Cage pick. Hard cut, switching to the left hand, and banks it up and in. Nate McMillan on a beautiful drive inside. Set up on the screen high. The Sonics lead by 4, 29-25, 9:03 to go here in the second period. Tony Scott to make that. Tony Smith, beg your pardon, takes it sideline right. Double teamed. He tried to skip it over to Teagle. Boy, Nate didn't read that, did he? He lifted up that left foot and kicked it out of bounds.
I tell you, Nate can make any soccer ball club if he can control the feet like that one.
That was a World Cup play there for Nate McMillan. Sonics on top by 4. 8:56 to go in the first half. Teagle will bring it inbounds.
As good an athlete as McMillan can make almost any sport. Wasn't that a nice one? Beautifully controlled.
Big save and a beauty. Hey, they could be playing goal in the NHL right now. Here's Street, cuts inside. He will dribble drive to the glass, lay it in. He is fouled in traffic. Street will head to the free throw line.
Now, Sedale, of course, has played with the Sonics for several years. Bernie Bickerstaff was the first coach who really gave Sedale an opportunity to get the starting position. As he came in, Kemp got a hand up in the face there. Street will go to the line, and Street right now with Magic Johnson being out for this year and the total load of being the point guard thrown on Sedale, who told me today, I don't want to play two guard anymore. He said, I'm a number one now, but he's having his career season. He's a career high.
He really is. 15 points, 7 assists, ranks him 14th in the league, and nearly 2 steals. He hits the free throw for the three-point play. 9 for Sedale. Sonics by 1, 29-28, 8:39 to go, second period. Barrows flips a pass over to Johnson. It's poked away, loose to midcourt. Teagle after it, but Johnson beat him there. Skips it to Kemp, runs the baseline. Up he comes, the reverse! Two-handed jam! Yeah! Ooh, he took the ring down with him that time. 8:25 to go in the first half, and the Sonics by 3, 31-28. Oh, man, what a play.
That'll be on ESPN later tonight.
Reed blasted in, lays it up and in. Here's Reed coming right back with a possibility of a three-point play. He's fouled by Nate McMillan. Reed, with 11 points, goes back to the line.
Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, these Lakers do like to send their guards in, slashing, driving hard to the basket. And, of course, with guys like Threet and Scott, you can do it. And Threet on that play, excellent angle as he got in, great speed. Three-point play? No.
No, but the rebound comes up into the hands of Green. Reloads to Threet. Hill, body English run up from 15. Won't go. Loose ball foul. Ball inside on Divac. That is Blotty's first. He came over the top of Sean Kemp, who's picked up 2 fouls here in the early going. 8:12 remaining in the second period, with the Sonics leading the Lakers 31-30. Boy, that was a nice slam jam, wasn't it?
Well, they were showing it on the instant replay here for the folks, not on ours, but on the arena instant replay.
Boy, don't worry, folks. We'll have it for you. Johnson on the inline has it tapped away by Divac, picked up by McMillan. Eddie is in deep, hit 10-footer straight away. Got it. Eddie Johnson with 6. 33-30. Sonics by 3. 7:51 to go in the second quarter. Now Threet will hoist one over to Teagle in the early offense on the inline, picked up by Johnson. Dribbles in deep, stops, leans over Cage's. Shot is up and short. Rebound to Michael. Unloads to Nate McMillan across midcourt. Kemp steaming ahead. The lob pass inside to Kemp, broken up by Divac. Steered ahead to Threet. Blast his speed into the lane. Sidesteps defenders, lays one up. It hangs on the iron and falls off into the hands of Cage. Lead pass to midcourt to McMillan. Nate, forecourt left over to Johnson, runs the baseline, beat Divac to the glass, hooks one up over Teagle. It won't go, but he got clobbered on the way to the rack. So Eddie Johnson will step up for 2 on the foul to Terry Teagle. Seattle leading by 3.
Did you notice Threet on that last one? I thought he was approaching the long jump. He took so many steps before he released that ball down the lane. On this one, Eddie Johnson comes in, a nice little hook, but reaching in Teagle, pretty obvious as he reached in, got a lot of body, no ball, and he'll go to the line.
Johnson to the line, hits the free throw. Eddie Johnson with 7. 33-30, make it 34-30. Sonics by 4 now. 7:21 to go in the first half. Campbell will come in, and now Green will check out. Nate McMillan will come off as well, and Gary Payton will step on. Eddie Johnson sizes up the free throw, flips it through. Eddie Johnson with 6 of his 8 here in the period. The Sonics have a 5-point lead. That equals their largest lead of the night. 7:15 to go in the first half. With it, Tony Smith. Smith, right block to Campbell. Oh, did he walk? He was stumbling backwards as Kemp had a little bit of leverage on him and then let up. He just kind of walked off. Campbell stumbled backwards, and the Lakers commit their 10th turnover of the night. The Sonics have capitalized for 11 points off turnovers. Payton stops dead in his tracks. Forecourt left, makes the pass. Now gives over to Johnson. Down low to Kemp. Backs, turns, nice delivery. Down deep is Payton. Sidewinds into the air. Threet stripped him of the ball. And now Teagle will scoop it up. Teagle across midcourt to Threet. Stops on the baseline, hits the trainer Campbell. Takes it with a left hand dribble. Left side, stops, leans. Off balance shot won't go. Divac will put it back up and in. And this could be the 3rd foul on Sean Kemp. It sure looked like Sean was in the vicinity.
Yeah, here he is. He goes a nice drive that time by Campbell, but he just didn't have total control. But Divac with a nice follow-up shot did.
There's a timeout with 6:42 to go in the second quarter. The score: Sonics 35, Lakers 32 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. 35-32 is the score. The Sonics leading the Lakers by 3. The last foul was committed by Michael Cage, his first. Kemp was in the vicinity. He has 2 fouls. 35-32 Sonics by 3. 6:42 to go here in the first half. The shooting in the second quarter.
That was an unusual number just flashed up. 5 out of 6 for the Sonics at 83%, and the Clippers have taken 6 more shots. 4 out of 12, 33%. You know, the last few games, Seattle has a tremendous more number of shots. Like last night, they had 20 more shots than Sacramento, but tonight it's reversal.
Despite getting out-rebounded, outshot at the free throw line. That was a tough game to figure. Divac scores the free throw. 35-33. The Sonics by a deuce. 6:34 to go. Second quarter. Down low. Left side. Kemp double team. Campbell at 3 all over. Kemp struggles. Muscles to the glass. His shot is up. Taps his follow. No. Rebound. Cage. He'll lay it up. Michael Cage. Cage has 7. Sonics by 4. 6:18 to go. Second quarter play. Clippers lost tonight in Chicago. Blasting into the lane. Here is Smith. Scoop shot up and good in traffic. Tony Smith out of Marquette. 4 points for Smith. Back come the Sonics. Long lead pass out of backcourt. Cage in the lane. He'll stop. Lean. Ball stripped away. Smith cannot control it off his thigh. Out of bounds. Sonics get a break there as they'll get possession with 6:02 to go in the first half. McKee will check in now for Seattle, and Michael Cage will step off the dance floor. Cage has been busy. 6 rebounds and 7 points for Michael.
Here's a quick update. They're in overtime, and Magic leading the Spurs at San Antonio 104 to 100.
Payton feeds to Cage high on the right side. Takes right, moves left, cuts into the lane, up fake, leans, draws the foul. The shot is off the mark, but Ricky Pierce will get a chance to go to the free throw line. He had 9 points back in the first quarter of play. Pierce tonight has been perfect at the line, 3 for 3.
Interestingly, again, we mentioned Ricky again draws the foul by pulling up instead of driving all the way to the hoop, by pulling up, double pumping out there, drawing his man to him and going up in a pretty good range away from the basket. So he's getting more fouls on the outside tonight than he could get inside last night.
Sonics, as we mentioned, in the top need to rebound this Laker team in order to win this game, and they have so far 14 to 9. The 2 rebounders, Kemp and Cage, each with 6. Pierce to the line, hits the free throw. 4 for 4 on the night for Ricky. Second one up, nailed it. Ricky Pierce with 11. 39-35. The Sonics lead by 4. 5:50 to go here in the first half. Smith stops shy of the 10-second mark. Saw Pierce coming up to second. They'll give it to Divac. Now they roll it over to Teagle. Dribbles into the lane. Off his leg. Grabbed by Payton. 3 on 2. Payton with Kemp on his right. Gives the shot. In he comes. Tomahawk jam. Foul to the rack. He'll go to the line. Sean Kemp. Ooh, man. That was a bone jarring, rim rattling tomahawk.
I tell you, Sean is getting so much better control of it. Look at that. On the way in, I mean, he got fouled. He just went right on through it. Boom, here he comes up with that hard Ivan slam. I tell you, he's having a night on that rim.
Kemp has 6. And he's got a couple of rings to wear after tonight's play. Wow. He took it home. Take it home, baby. The Sonics lead by 7, 42-35, 5:26 to go in the first half. Smith outside, yo-yos a dribble. Works his way to the inline, powers in, fouled from behind. Sonics came over the top that time. Foul is on Derek McKee. That is the second on Derek McKee, who's been running quiet tonight from the offensive standpoint off the 20-point effort last night.
You know, one thing about a close game against the Lakers at the form now where they've already lost 14 games and only lost 8 last year, they do not have that takeover guy like Magic Johnson used to be when you get caught in a close game. A Magic Johnson, a Michael Jordan, a Larry Bird, somebody like that. So the Sonics perhaps will not be looking at that if they go down to the stretch, in a very tight game tonight.
You just can't pick up guys like that off the waiver wire.
Well, no, you don't do that.
You just can't do that. Smith hits the free throw. Smith's got 6 all here in the quarter. 42-37. Sonics by 5. 5:18 to go. Second period. Gary Payton will work it across. He has it into forecourt. Reed on him. Reed lays off to Gary. Feeds it cross court to Johnson. Over to McKee. Garrett backs into the paint. Stops. Pivots. Hands off to Pierce. Ricky before the shot clock. Pulls up. Jump passes and throw away. Now, when Ricky goes up, you're looking to go to the glass. Although he did have the career-high 9 assists last night in Sacramento. A time of jump pass with Derek McKee. And that is the 12th turnover of the night for the Sonics. What's the season high? Here's Smith with the inline put-up jumper. He rattled it in. Smith with 8 points. 42-39. Sonics lead of 7. Trimmed to 3. 4:40 to go. Payton pushes it low to Pierce. Stops, spins, pull-up jumper. Got it on the baseline. Ricky Pierce with 13. The season high turnover rate for the Lakers, 21, and they're up to 12 for the ball game right now. Pierce reaches in for the 13th to strip Smith, and he comes back to foul Pierce. And this will put the Sonics in the bonus situation with 4:26 to go as Smith puts the Lakers over the limit.
Well, this time, Pierce picks his man up out there, got the steal, and then drew the foul.
Not a bad package. So Ricky Pierce steps up there. As we mentioned earlier, he has not been to the free throw line in the 2 previous ball games. Tonight, however, he has enjoyed himself up there with this one. Ricky now has hit 6 out of 6 from the line. He's perfect. 14 points for Pierce, leading the Sonics at all scores tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to see Derek get a little bit more aggressive in driving and slashing to the hoop, because he has a consecutive string of 11 straight free throws going. He's a tremendously dangerous man when he can keep going to the foul line for you like that.
4:26 to go, second quarter. Pierce flips the first one, and the second one up. He got it. Nailed them both. 15 now for Ricky. Talking about McKee, he's only had the 2 attempts here in the first half. 3. Works the dribble down the wing. 7-point lead again for the Sonics. 3. Steps into the lane. Shot blocked by Kemp. Right to D-box. Over to Campbell. Up he comes. Two-handed stop. Campbell did it the old-fashioned way. He's got 6, 46-41. Payton dribbles right up the center of the floor. Double team. Sandwiched. Over it comes to Johnson. Down low to Kemp. Tried to swing it in a double team. Past Teagle and Divac, and it's tapped off his shoe top and out of bounds. The Lakers will take it. Boy, oh boy, the turnovers are mounting. 13 now for Seattle for 17 Laker points. 13 for the Lakers for 18 Sonic points. Sonics lead by 5. 3:56 to go, second quarter, 3 outside. Sadale Creek looking for Divac on a mismatch. Off his fingertips, has to save it from the end line. Does beautifully to Scott. Swings it over to Green, out of the wing, long jumper, didn't have a chance. Rebound, gathered in off the forced collar of the rim. Payton with it. Takes it into the key. Quickly over to McKee. Soft touch, up and got it. Derek McKee scores his first basket here at the 3:34 mark of the second period. 48-41, 7-point Sonic lead. Now a look from the overhead cam here at the Forum. Reed with it. Boy, that's a great perspective, isn't it? 4-point right. Free picked up by McKee. Down low. Payton trying to front Divac. Got in front of the big man from Yugoslavia and just did batted out of bounds with that left hand very softly. So the Lakers will take over with 8 on the shot clock.
Well, when you have a 6'4" man guarding a 7'1" man in front of him and that lob pass comes in, you better get some quick help from that weak side, which was coming across, I might mention, but it was a nice deflection out of bounds by Gary.
The inbounds, Divac will rocket up a jumper. He nailed it from about 20 feet right on that baseline. Divac with 5. 48-43. The Sonics leading by 5. 3:06 to go in the second period. Gary Payton out of Oregon State in the second year directs traffic, wants Kemp to drop down to the baseline. Kemp comes off the Pierce pick, gets it wide on the left, takes Divac to the inline with a crossover dribble, stops, pivots, in he comes. Oh, what a muscling play to the glass. He'll bank it up and in. Shawn Kemp using the rim really as an obstacle for the 7-1 Divac. Kemp really used some beautiful footwork inside that time, set up on the crossover dribble.
Kemp is having a great game inside tonight. As he puts that one in, we have a timeout called with 2:53 left in the first half. Sonics lead 50-43 on the Sonic Broadcast Network.
In the first, Los Angeles, the Sonics leading the Lakers by 7, 50-43. Big doings tonight in the NBA, Bob.
Yeah, they have a chance to pick up on a lot of people. Orlando with a big win at San Antonio over the Spurs, 113-106. Now, the Sonics are just a game and a half back of the Spurs going into tonight's play. If Seattle wins this one, they're just a half a game back to 5th place in the Western Conference standing, and the Clippers lost at Chicago. Back-to-back defeats back at Cleveland and Chicago the last 2 nights. So the Sonics, a big win here tonight would put them, they'd gain ground on everybody.
Sonics could come even in the win column with San Antonio with a win tonight at 43 wins on the year. Here is Shawn Kemp to the line. Free throws up, he got it. So Shawn Kemp now has 9 points. And he has thrown in some beauties in deep. 2 ferocious dunks. And then a nice little finesse job on that one. Will put the Sonics on top by the largest lead of the night, up by 8. 2:40 to go, second quarter. Outside, Scott will feed it to 3 at the center of the floor. 3. Moves along laterally, drops it low. Campbell sandwich, double team, fell of his own court, out of bounds. Turnover, Sonics will take it.
Hey, Shawn
Campbell lays there. Here come the Sonics, Bob.
Yeah, Shawn Kemp was the guy who provided the impetus on that turnover. Great play from behind off the weak side.
Payton in the corner, outside to Pierce, up there. Slides in, sidesteps defenders, rolls one up. Kemp on the tip, jam, came over the top of Campbell. I believe the loose ball foul will be called on Shawn. He was the man that went airborne, and indeed it is the 3rd foul on Shawn.
Well, Shawn's the kind of the guy, as we mentioned earlier, his game's inside. This time, as Ricky comes inside, Divac did a nice job extending the arms that time to take the angle away from him, and then Shawn came up over the top, and Shawn will go to the bench. What's that, his 3rd foul?
That is the 3rd on Shawn Kemp, who comes out of the ball game with 11 points and 6 rebounds.
Yeah, I got a big laugh out of Shawn this morning. He normally does. He has kind of a built-in scowl on his face. But we were in the news shop together. I said, Shawn, you in foul trouble yet today? He turned around, he looked at me like, Blackbird, what are you talking about? Because he does get in foul trouble early, and he knows it.
Yeah, it seems like he automatically comes in with one foul against him into these buildings. Campbell's free throws up. He nailed it. Campbell has 7, 51-44, 7-point Sonic lead, 2:15 to go in the first half. Outside now, Gary Payton will set it up. Gary feeds it left-hand side of the key to McKee. Hands out wide to Pierce. Pierce draws the double team, slings it cross-court to McMillan. Nate McMillan down low. Payton posted up. Nice up fake. Reverses one up and in on the right side. Gary Payton with his first basket. With a beautiful job that time to up fake Campbell right out of his skin.
Hey, that's Gary's first basket in 2 nights, Kevin. That has to feel good to him.
A bet. 9-point lead now for the Sonics. Down low, Green doubled outside Divac. Set shot in the air. No. Green over jumped the bounds of that rebound and apparently was pushed. In so doing, the foul inside is on, well, they say Derek McKee. 3rd foul on McKee.
Well, Divac has not been able to do much inside. He went to the outside a while back, popped onto the corner this time. Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a push in there that time as Derek got that ball a little bit too easily.
53-44 the score. Sonics with a 9-point lead. Green to cut into it, missed the free throw. Well, the Los Angeles Lakers on the year shooting 77% here in this game. 77% on 10 of 13. Second one by Green won't go. Divac snaps the rebound, unloads to Green. He'll turn with a hook from 5, and he got them both back. Green with a basket. Green with 6 on the night. 53-46 to count. Sonics leading here by 7 with 1:29 to go in the first half. Payton outside. Darts to the head of the key. Reverse pivot. Comes off the Cage pitch. Feeds it outside. Tony Brown on the line of foul. He'll push it over to Cage. Out wide on the baseline. Sling it to McMillan. Push it over to Brown. Up fakes the three. Glides by Green. Pull up jumper from 20. Baseline left. No. Divac had the rebound. Lost it on the baseline, but saved it. Right to Eldon Campbell. Divac checked in backcourt by Cage. Loops to the head of midcourt. With it is Sedale Street. Reed works the dribble out in front with 1:02 remaining. We're in the first half of the Sonics leading by 7. Backdoor lob intended down deep from Divac to Green. Broken up by Cage easily. Boy, Divac didn't telegraph that one, did he? Here comes Brown across midcourt. Brown with a shake and bake dribble. Working left side. Stops, skips outside to Payton. Seattle 53. The Lakers 46, 42 seconds and counting. Down on the shot clock. McMillan into the lane. Double teamed. Out to Brown for 3. Rims off. Rebound. Cage batting at it. Loops it to the sideline, but Tony Brown can't get there in time. So the Lakers will take over with 33 seconds remaining in the first half. The Sonics leading by 7, 53-46. At halftime, we guarantee it. We'll take a look at, what's that guy say on TV? I guarantee it, he says. And we do. You'll have a little bit of Sean Kemp magic at halftime. Here's 3, 4 court right. And Jerry West with us, our special guest. 3 flashed into the lane. 3 with 13, 7 here in the quarter. 53-48. Sonics by 5, 16 seconds and counting. Left here in the second period. Seattle's largest lead was 9 a moment ago. They're on top by 5. Outside with it is Brown. Shakes right, moves left, skips to the cross here to McMillan. He'll take the 3. Oh, it fires over the iron. Rebound grabbed by Cage. Moves to the floor. Can't get it in. Time is expired on the Sonics. So at the end of 1 here in Los Angeles, the Sonics do have a lead over the Lakers, 53-48. We'll return with more in a moment here on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. .53-48 at halftime. The Sonics lead the Los Angeles Lakers. A bevy of turnovers both ways. Sonics had the 9-point lead. What concerns me, Bob, is Sean Kemp playing so well inside, but still hampered with foul problems, the 3 in the first half.
Well, that's a little bit of a concern, but I tell you one thing that I've gotten a little bit of more optimism from is the fact that only 22 points first quarter for the Sonics, 31 in the second points. They established the tempo in the second period. That's what they want to do. If they can continue, good chance for the win.
They did that with their defense. The Sonics leading by 5 at half here in Los Angeles. We'll be back with an interview with Jerry West in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. At the half, let's review a great play on the GTE Power Play, brought to you by GTE, where the power is on. Sean Kemp, well, the picture tells the story, as Rod Stewart would say. A reverse two-hander. Oh, boy, was that nice. Ran the baseline, and once he gets down to the baseline, it's usually over for if you're a defender down there. 17 minutes in the first half, 11.6 rebounds. Sean Kemp leading the Sonics at half, 53-48. Seattle by 5 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
Sonic Spotlight is brought to you by Novus Windshield Repair Company. If anyone tells you your windshield has to be replaced, call 1-800-55-NOVUS first. It can almost always be repaired.
At halftime, Kevin Calabro with Jerry West, a man who knows about adversity, being a player in this league and a great college player. Jerry, 7 games over 500, obviously in the wake of Magic Johnson, but without Worthy and Perkins. How have you been able to do that with this team?
Well, you know, I'm not really sure because I think when you look at our team this year, we've really lost 4 of our best players. Well, actually, our 4 best players were lost through injuries and other situations. But, you know, I really think in this league, if you get people playing together and playing with a purpose and make them believe in themselves, it's surprising because all these guys were good players at one particular score or another. But it's been a great year for us. We're really pleased with where we are right now.
Loaded question, but everybody wants to know, all the fans want to know, how will the Lakers get either Akeem Olajuwon or Shaquille O'Neal?
Well, you know, it's really amazing. I think other people worry so much about the Lakers. Maybe they should worry about their own team. But, you know, obviously, when you're in this league, I think you try to have to do what's best for the team. And, you know, in looking at our team, obviously, we need a big-time player. But to try to get players like that is virtually impossible.
What do you think about Shaquille O'Neal's announcement today to come out and come pro?
Well, you know, when you look at him and you try to project where he might be as an NBA player, obviously it's very exciting because he's one of those players that would make your franchise. You could build around him. He has great charisma. He's a terrific kid. And it's probably surprising he hasn't come out before, but it will be a great addition whatever team gets him.
Jerry, we've got about 15 seconds. Wayback Machine, 1970. Willis Reed limps onto the garden floor. What thought did you have in mind?
I said we have a great advantage because he really couldn't play. He was there in person. His spirit was obviously very important, but it was a real plus for us to have him on the court, but it didn't work out that way.
Jerry, thanks for joining us at half.
Thank you.
Jerry West of the Lakers. We'll be right back in a moment here on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Thanks. Welcome back at halftime. The Sonics lead the Lakers 53-48 down here in La La Land. And before we start the third quarter, let's take a look at the in the paint stats brought to you by Dutch Boy for the look that lasts. The blocks, the Sonics had 3 in that first half of play. Michael Cage had all 3 of them. Lakers didn't have 1. Offensive rebounds, Lakers 7, Sonics 6. Defensive rebounds, Sonics 10, Lakers 5. And in the total, the Sonics 16 and the Lakers 12. Ordinarily, the Sonics obviously out-rebound their opposition by nearly 2 per ball game, and the Lakers give away about 4. The shooting statistics brought to you by Pennzoil. The Pennzoil halftime stats show the Sonics shooting 20 of 34, 59%. The Lakers 19 to 37, 51. Sonics were red hot in the second quarter. They hit on 11 out of 18. Free throw shooting, 13 of 15, the Sonics 87%. Lakers 10 of 15, 67. Assists, Sonics 15, and the Lakers 9. The leading assist man for the Seattle Supersonics with the assists, I believe, was Gary Payton, who had 6 in that, actually 5 in that first half. The turnovers, Lakers 15 for 18 Sonic points. The Sonics with 13 turnovers for 17 Laker points. Keep in mind the season high for the Lakers is 22. Season high turnover mark for the Sonics is 28 earlier this year in a win over New Jersey. Halftime scoring, Pierce with 15, Kemp with 11, and the 6 rebounds. Eddie Johnson has the 8 points. Cage actually led the Sonics in rebounding. He had 7 boards. The Lakers led by Sedale 3 with 13, Byron Scott 9, and Tony Smith had 8. The Lakers were led in rebounding by the half dozen of Vlade Divac. Some other scores in the NBA that are somewhat surprising.
Well, I tell you, Phoenix at Utah. Utah, of course, at home, but they do have one of the best records in the league, leading Phoenix at the half 50 to 44. But Sacramento, the team the Sonics just beat in Sacramento last night, they're at Golden State tonight, and at halftime, they're leading the Warriors 60 to 44. And while we're talking about numbers, Kevin, we're going to have to watch Michael Cage in this second half because you mentioned all 3 Sonic block shots where Michael Cage blocks in the first half. Now, Michael is not a guy known for a lot of block shots, but earlier this season he got his career high 4. He will tie his lifetime record if he gets 1 more block shot in the ball game tonight. And the turnovers, well, the Sonics high over the year is 28 back in New Jersey. The Lakers high was 22 in a game earlier at Portland, January 21st back in Portland. And both teams having just a little turnover problem here in the first half tonight. Let's see if the Sonics can clean up their act and convert a little bit more. Actually, the points off of turnovers are about even up, so they've negated their good defensive work, but at least they've held their own. And they lead by 5 as we go to the third quarter.
So you mentioned the Lakers are the #1 sure-handed ball-handling team in the league, averaging just around 13 turnovers per ball game. That's the lowest in the league. Here's McMillan outside on the point. Feeds over to Pierce off his fingertips. Loose and picked up off the floor by Byron Scott. So Seattle will begin things with a turnover right off the bat here in the third. Seattle by 5. They led by as many as 9 back in the second quarter play at 53-44. Here's Threet between the rings. Feeds it out high on the left. Green will turn. Fade, fire, and miss. Rebound to Cage. Gary Payton will bring it out of backcourt. Moves diagonally to the center of the floor. Flips it over here on his right hip over to McMillan. Down low to Pierce. Cuts to the baseline. Got it. Turns. Flips and fires and hits. And Ricky Pierce with 17. Puts the Sonics on top here. 55-48, a 7-point lead. 11-12 remaining in the third. Threet comes off the pick of Divac. Forced out beyond the three-point line. Feeds over to Scott. Byron Scott high on the left. Drops it low. Divac will catch, turn, and just lay it up and in easily. Divac with 7. Weak side defense didn't get there in time, and now the Sonics lead trimmed to 5. 10:54 to go third quarter. McMillan on the flank with it. Pierce doubled. Sends it topside to Payton over to McMillan. Nate McMillan down to McKee. McKee up fake. Fades right, moves left, stops, reverses with a left-hand dribble. Stops and skips it outside here to McMillan. Jitterbugs into the lane. Gives off to Cage. Off the baseline. He'll fire and hit just as time it expired on the shot clock. Michael Cage with 9 points. He's hit 3 of those baseline shots tonight. And the Sonics lead is 7. 10:25 left here in the third. Threet outside. San Antonio lost tonight. A win, and the Sonics moved within a half game of the 5th spot in the West. Also gained ground on both the Lakers, obviously, would win the season series against the Lakers. And would have a sizable lead over the Clippers at 2.5 games. The Clippers lost in Chicago tonight. Illegal defense called on the Sonics. It is the second illegal defense call on Seattle. And again, the Lakers will go to the free throw line for an attempt at the line and possession of the ball.
Well, the Lakers kept spreading the floor. They had Divac posted up for a while. He was being footed by Gary Payton. They were trying to get the ball, but the pressure outside was a little bit too much. The Laker guards couldn't get it into him. They kept spreading the floor. Finally, Divac moved around and got in front. And about that time, one of the Sonics on the opposite side. Out of position, illegal defense.
Scott misses the free throw. And the Lakers will bring it in bounds. Now the Lakers have shot 10 of 15 from the free throw line. Actually 10 of 16 from the line tonight. On the inbounds, Divac will take it. No look, skip pass off the hip to Threet. Pull-up jumper left side is good. Cedillo drains it. 15 points for Cedillo. 57-52 down the wing, and his Pierce centers it to Payton. Skips it over to McMillan. Airborne with a jumper. Rattles in and out. Divac with a rebound. Vlade sees McKee trying to sneak up on Threet. Hands to Cedillo. He worked to midcourt. Pumps one out wide. Scott will get up in the air with a 3-air ball. Grabbed by McMillan. Nate will peel out across midcourt with a high left to right hand dribble. Into the lane he comes. Handcuffed by Threet on the way up. This will send Cedillo Threet up there for 2. The foul on Cedillo Threet is his 3rd.
Yeah, again, Nate McMillan, a guy who can slash. He looked Threet off for just an instant. He looked wide on his left to a guy out on the wing, and then as he continued on, it was too late, and Threet had reached up there. You know, these two guys, the two teams, they overlapped on the shoot-around this morning, and Cedillo Threet, he loves to talk trash, and he got into a trash-talking thing with Gary Payton and most everybody. They had a good time for a while.
McMillan hits the free throw, and a timeout is called on the floor here in Los Angeles with 9:44 to play in the third. The score, Sonics 58, Lakers 52 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. This half of Sonics basketball is being brought to you in part by Subaru. It's What to Drive with Bob Blackburn, Kevin Calabro at the Forum here in Los Angeles. Sonics by 6, 58-52.
You know, Kevin, those who are watching or listening on the simulcast tonight can remember that these same two teams are going to be matched up in back-to-backers next Tuesday night at the Coliseum. Ticketmaster 628-0888. You might call them for tickets right now. Should be a fine ball game up there, no matter who wins this one tonight, because these two teams will still be locked in a struggle.
McMillan with his second free throw nails it. Nate has 8. 59-52, 7-point lead for the Sonics. 9:39 to go in the third quarter. Double teamed at midcourt is Green by Payton to McKee. Jump passes out of a jam to Threet. Quickly over to Scott. Clean in jumper. No. Rebound follow. Yes. Eldon with 9. Sonic lead is 5. 9:24 to go, third period. Payton, right-hand side of the key to McKee. Fakes right, starts left. In he comes. Left-handed scoop. No. Divac clears the rebound in midcourt. Scott with it. Breezing ahead with Green. Checking him is Payton. Scott down deep. Forced to pass outside to Threet. Nearly lost it. Threet takes it in. Makes a hard cut. Double teamed out to Divac. From three-point range, no threat. Hands to Threet. Fakes left, moves right, cuts inside, stripped to the ball by McKee. Threet came right down on the basketball. Actually fell on the basketball. We're going to call a jump ball down here. Jess Kersey is. How in the world did he get that?
Well, I'm not sure because it was very confusing because Threet was touching the ball. He was on the baseline. Nate McMillan was out of bounds there. Let's see. Nate, well.
That's either a kickball or a walk, folks.
Yeah. I think the official just didn't know what to call, and the jump was the easy way out.
Well, I see what, yeah, okay, now on a replay here at the Forum. Now watch Nate McMillan. He's standing out of bounds when he actually grabs the ball, and it's on Sedale's, yeah. So it's a good call. And it's tapped, Jess Kersey with a good call down there, and it's tapped out here to Scott. And McMillan had hands on it, but Threet had a leg on it, and he didn't really kick the ball. 5-point Sonic lead. Unfortunately, the Lakers win the tap. On the wing with it is Perkins. Perkins down to Green, right-hand side of the key. Green, in, runner, up and good. He banked it home. AC Green. Green with 8, 59-56. Sonics lead by 3, 8:30 to go in the third. McMillan high on the left side, checked by Green. Green searches it. Hands off here to Pierce. Ricky out beyond the three-point line. Threet waiting back in the key. Cage comes over to pick. They jump out, double team. Pierce swing it over to Cage. Now over to McMillan. He'll take the long hoist. It's up and off the mark. Rebound followed by Cage. Not there. Michael's got the rebound again. Loose to the floor. Had it on the low portion of the leg down around the ankle. Divac bends down, steers it away, but draws the foul down there. That is the third foul on Divac.
I tell you, Michael Cage, a great offensive rebounder. He's had double figures rebounding every game this year against the Lakers. He just stayed after it. Now Michael is going to go to the bench. The Sonics do need an infusion of emotion, and Sean Kemp comes in.
Sean Kemp working with the 3 fouls in the first half. Sonics by 3, 8:10 to go in the third. Payton. But there's a pass out on the wing here to Nate McMillan. Nate beyond the three-point line. Drops the low to Kemp. He spins by Divac. Fell on the floor. Maintained the dribble. Tried to scoop it off. But it went into the hands of Byron Scott. Scott now will take it up the floor. Over to Divac. Into the lane. His lay-in is pinned on the glass. Beautiful play by McKee. Reached up to strip it off his hand. Out it comes to Payton. The low feet over to Pierce. Pull-up jumper. Got it. Ricky Pierce. Pierce with 19. 61-56. The Sonics come back with a 5-point lead. 7:40 to play in the third. Now Sedale will roam up the wing. Pierce has hit 6 of 9 from the field, 7 of 7 from the line. Pierce falls to the floor on the left side. He's double teamed immediately by Payton Pierce. And Mike Callahan bails out Sedale Threet with a foul on Ricky Pierce.
Sonics are doing a pretty good job. I mean, I think the scoreboard shows that in the turnovers as they've pressured Sedale Threet when he's had the ball a lot. This time he slips, falls, going after it. Well, I tell you, it's hard to see where there was much contact there. Ricky Pierce turned in kind of surprised, too. There was a little bit of incidental contact, but no actual grabbing it, it looked like. But here we go. Lakers have the ball.
5-point lead for Seattle. 7:28 to go here in the third quarter. Threet with it. Sedale Threet spreading the floor. Looking for Smith popping out. That leaves Green off the pick to roam into the lane. But Threet will take it solo right side. His shot is off the mark on the move, but he draws the foul. Sedale Threet, who did have some three-point plays in that first half, will head up to the line with 15 points.
You know, interestingly, we had talked about the Lakers having gone to the free throw line like 468 more times than their opposition. First half, it was dead even. Both teams got to go to the line 15 times.
Threet steps up and hits the first one. Threet with 16 points. Sedale Threet played for Philadelphia, Chicago, Seattle, now here in Los Angeles. Threet was 17 on the free throw to whittle the margin to 3, 61-58, 7:17 left in the third. Gary Payton has it high on the left side, out beyond the ring, gives to Pierce, slowly turns, double team, skips a high one over to Payton. Back to Pierce, 12 on the shot clock for Ricky. Ricky, Ginnibuck's right, takes a left, pull-up jumper, a flat shot, rolls off, Green has the rebound. AC Green got ahead to Threet. Fred working with a dribble out between the wickets. Now feeds wide on the wing. Scott will drop it low. Green, the reverse flip. Off glass, no. Followed up and in. Hammered in by Campbell. Big tip jam by Elder. Campbell with 11. Pierce down the wing. Stops, feeds low. Kemp spins inside. Stripped to the ball. Got it back. Went up. Lost the handle. Went up again. And this time is tied up. We will jump it. 61-60. Sonics by 1. 6:39 to go in the third. Sean Kemp will go to the circle to jump it with, I believe, either Green or Campbell.
Sonics stepped up the pace of the game in the second quarter, basically took control through most of that period. They're getting a little bit loose in their play right now, and they're allowing the Lakers to catch up. Down by only one, Lakers, if they get possession of this ball, could regain the lead, which they've not had for quite some time.
They're going to send A.C. Green into the circle. Campbell trying to bluff. Campbell is the much better jumping jack of the two, so it'll be Cage now with Green to jump it up. Here's the tap. Green had position on shot in the air and deflects it out here to Byron Scott. He'll send it ahead to three. Three down the wing, takes McMillan 1-on-1 to the baseline. Stops, reverses, fallaway jumper. He's fouled. Shot came up short. The foul on McMillan is second. Here comes Sadale Creek to the line to attempt his 5th and 6th free throws of the night.
Ron Sadale is an excellent foul shooter, and the chances are good that he'll first tie it and then put the Lakers in the lead. At 8.38%. Next to Byron Scott is their leading foul shooter on a team that is 19th in the NBA at the free throw line.
Three free throws up and it's good. So we are tied here in Los Angeles at 61 all. The Sonics had a 5-point lead at half, 53-48. And the Lakers looking to take the lead on the free throw. He nailed it, 19%. 62-61, Lakers by one, 6:27 to go. Third period play. Eddie Johnson has it, forecourt left, swings it out on top to Sean Kemp. Kemp looking in low, feeds one out wide on the wing with it. Johnson, his pass to McKee, goes over Derek said. He had a fingertip on it, but out of bounds. Sonic turnover, their 18th of the night for 19 Laker points, 62-61. 6:09 to go in the third. Smith has it forecourt right, working on Eddie Johnson. Smith works slowly down the wing, skips it on top to Threet, sends it out here to Eldon Campbell. Campbell back to Threet. He's been the man. He'll take the jumper at three. Runs it. Campbell there for the follow. Eldon Campbell has been around that hatch 3 times for putback baskets of that nature. 64-61, Lakers side 3, 5:48 to go in the third. Back in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Well, the Sonics have not shot well in the quarter, and they've turned the ball over 5 times, and that has led to a Laker run to a 3-point lead at 64-61 with 5:48 to go here in the third quarter.
Well, one of the interesting things about it, the Lakers, who had all those 15 turnovers in the first half and were headed for a season high, they have not turned the ball over once in this period, while the Sonics have committed the turnovers, and the Lakers right now in 2 minutes and 46 seconds are on an 8-0 run, so they're right back in command. Sonics now battling again from behind.
Here's McMillan on the point. Covered by Threet. Skips it out wide. Pierce with it. Drops it on the low blocks. McKee assertive. Takes it inside with a right-hander. Blocked away by Campbell out of bounds. Seattle will take it back with 10 on the shot clock.
Well, Derek has to get more assertive. He does on this particular play because it goes in. Coming off the weak side that time was Campbell. That Campbell can leap right out of the building.
Yes, he can. He can hang on the rafters when he wants to. McMillan down to Johnson. Up fakes right-hand side. He's double team. Smith and Threet outside of McMillan. He'll fire one up from 3-point range out there just as time had expired on the shot clock. It dances off the rim and into the hands of Tony Smith. Here comes Smith. Out of Marquette. Lakers by 3. We're in the third. 5:09 to play. Scott. Sideline left. Byron Scott. Checked by Eddie Johnson. Scott will send it low. Campbell turns into the lane. Stripped to the ball easily by Kemp. He stole it and sends it ahead now to McMillan. Nate will work it outside on the wing. Cross-court pass to Johnson. He's open. Long hoist up and short. Rebound grabbed out by Nate McMillan. The long rebound grabbed in the key by Nate. He'll loop it cross-court. Kemp will catch. Hand off to Pierce. Sets his feet for 3. No. Rebound inside McKee. Back to the air. Stripped to the ball. Loose to the floor. Smith has got it. He will whirl away and send it ahead to Green. Now Green will hand off to Threet. Threet with a reverse pivot on the dribble. Checked by McMillan outside. Good matchup. Threet. Over Scott. Lean back. Follow-away jumper. No. Go. Rebound to Kemp. Up to Nate McMillan. Nate will skip it ahead. Centers it to McKee. Spins into the lane. He is stripped and handcuffed in there by Scott. Or by Tony Smith, I beg your pardon. And it will send Derek McKee up to the line on the foul to Smith, his 4th.
Eldon Campbell has successfully followed on 3 missed Lakers shots with slam dunks in this third quarter. That time finally Sean Kemp blocked him off the boards. He was ready to go in and do it again. So give Sean credit for moving Campbell out of there on that last play.
Well, somebody's got to. McKee to the line, hits the free throw. And I'm sure that was the topic of discussion when George Karl called the timeout. How is it that Eldon Campbell is getting those offensive rebounds? The Lakers at the last break were leading in offensive rebounds 10-9. McKee hits both free throws. McKee with 4 points. Pierce steps in front of Smith, steals the inbound pass, hands off to McKee. He'll lay it up and in with a jam. Ricky Pierce on the stolen inbounds pass, now really pressuring Smith. McKee jumps out on Scott, who gets the inbounds pass. Now will deliver the goods to Tony Smith. He'll bring it ahead. 65-64. The Sonics take the lead back. 4 minutes to go in the third. Smith sidewinds down the wing, hands to three, up fakes, coming on a jump switch here by Kemp. Kemp lunging in, trying to force three wide. Three hesitates, now glides into the lane. Ball stripped away, goes high off the glass. Rebound covered by Johnson. He'll lead the break over to Kemp. Comes barreling down off the wing, powers to the glass, but reverses up and off the front lip and short. Rebound gathered in by Campbell. His outlet is right out of bounds. Grabbed by Jack Haley. That might be the most action Haley we'll see on the night on that Laker bench. Perfect pass to Haley on the outlet.
Yeah, one of the reasons I think the Sonics got that steal a few minutes ago in that easy basket. They have not been putting up a lot of full court pressure tonight because of the Lakers are playing back-to-back nights in Sacramento last night. So they weren't going to have too much pressure. On this last play, however, Kemp simply rolled and missed that reverse lane.
On the inbounds pass, Eddie Johnson's baseline shot is well off the mark. Cage hovered high into the air to get the rebound, but to say he came over a Laker for possession. So Cage, no sooner does he come off the bench, he picks up his second foul. The Sonics have 14 fouls. 3:31 left here in the third. Seattle leading the Lakers 65-64. Smith will walk across midcourt. Smith looking for Campbell, trying to front him as McMillan. Campbell will get it, spins away. McMillan had to foul him from behind and hammered him. Made sure that Campbell will go to the line instead of getting the 2 and 1. Third foul on Nate McMillan. Puts the Sonics at the limit of 4 fouls. Eldon Campbell, a 62%er, steps up. He has 13 points. But tonight, Campbell is, well, he's been the man on the glass with 8 rebounds. He and Divac both with the 8 boards.
Oh, that air ball. Who did he remind you of from New Jersey on that shot?
A little better form than Chris Dudley. Not much better. Looked a bit like Larry Smith.
You know, I tell you that the Lakers in the locker room after the game, win or lose, they're going to get on him for that air ball on a free throw.
We'll hear about it. Here's the second one to tie. And he gunned it in there. Campbell with 14. 65-65, 3:17 to go in the third quarter. Nate McMillan with a side saddle dribble, works down the sideline. Kemp coming over to pick. McMillan bluffs, splits the D, in he comes, loops one up, he missed it, follow up on the two-handed tip stuff by Shawn Kemp. Kemp with 13 points. 13 points, 9 boards for Kemp, who's been active. 67-65, 2:55 to go in the third. Sonics by deuce. Teagle turns to the jumper. Kemp off the angle and there. Terry Teagle. Teagle with his first deuce. Sonics bring it out of backcourt in a hurry. Johnson ends up with the ball. Now we'll send it back to McMillan. Nate McMillan chest passes to Pierce. Cuts down off the Cage pick. Turned away by Green. Green forces Pierce out beyond the three-point line. Rookie double team. Tried to loop one over the double team. It is deflected to the sideline. Kemp will get it. Down low on the blocks to McMillan. Sends it across to EJ. And he leans back on the baseline and banks it up and in. Eddie Johnson with 10. 69-67. Sonics by 2. 2:19 to go in the third. Well, you've got to make a crisp, authoritative pass when you double team, don't you? Little flat pass won't do it. Smith has it poked away by McMillan into the hands of Kemp. Tried to send it ahead on a 3-on-1. Teagle intercepts to Campbell into the air and is fouled by Kemp. It's his 4th.
Boy, I'll tell you, the Sonics again, they make the great play, make the turnover, then negated by a little bit of loose ball handling themselves. In this particular case, it was a nice play by Teagle. And I'll tell you, Sonics are going to have to watch Teagle because he's a guy comes off the bench, gets hot. He's had a couple of games the last couple of weeks of 23 and 28 points. So as of right now, he had not, as you mentioned earlier, they had not scored a field goal in the first half, missing all 3 shots. He's one guy the Sonics are really going to have to look at, and I think you'll see a lot of double teaming and trapping on Terry Teagle.
Eldon Campbell goes back to the line on the 4th foul of the night to Shawn Kemp. Campbell's free throw is up. He got it. Campbell with 15. Well, that was certainly a frustration foul. You've heard announcers and coaches talk about frustration fouls. Kemp had that ball as McMillan poked it away from Smith. Tried to send it up the floor, but had it intercepted. Felt he had to come back and block the shot. He had no chance at it. Campbell goes to the line and 6 both free throws. And a tough trip down the floor for Seattle. 69-69, a minute 59 to go in the third. Johnson runs the baseline, switches right to left hand, lays it up and in off glass. Eddie Johnson comes right back with a big basket. 12 points for EJ. 71-69, Sonics by 2. A minute 48 to go in the third quarter. Sonics have shot 50% despite turning the ball over 20 times. Teagle high on the right. Covered by Johnson. Teagle outside to Threet. Checked by Kemp. They send it back to Teagle. Draws a double team. Forces his way into the lane. Turnaround jumper. No go. Rebounded Sean Kemp. Kemp now is a double-figure rebounding. 9 of 10. The Sonics bring it up the floor. Johnson cuts into the lane. Make it Brown cutting into the lane. Feeds out to Cage. Back to TB. Tony Brown now to Johnson. Raises up with a jumper. No. Grabbed his rebound around shoot top level. Beats Devos to the glass. Lays it in with the left hand. A hustle play by Eddie Johnson gets 2 points. 73-69. Sonics by 4. A minute 9 to go in the third quarter. Boy, that was a great hustling play by Eddie Johnson. Now Threet comes off the pick of Campbell. Jumping out is Cage on Threet. Threet looking for the mismatch inside. Jumping back on Threet is McMillan. Again, the Sonics switch off. Johnson on Threet. Sends it over to Smith. Long three in the air. No go. Man, is that not a loose ball foul? He came over the top of Johnson. Smith then to grab the rebound. The runner in the lane by Smith is off the mark. Rebound to Kemp. Out to Brown. Over to McMillan. Ahead to E.J. Thought about it. Pumps it up. It swirls and comes up. Devos grabs the rebound. The outlet is to Threet. He'll jitterbug into the lane. Cuts right up into traffic. Ball stripped away. McMillan's got the steal. McMillan with a 3-on-2. Cage on his right. Johnson on his left. Sends over to Cage into the lane. Over to Brown. Hesitates. Fell into his own man. Kemp and a 3-second violation called on the Sonics. Both McMillan and Cage were in the lane.
Yeah, they had too much going on that time. They kept moving the ball around. The Laker defense was kind of shuffling around on them. They kept moving it to somebody they thought, and they got a little sloppy with the ball handling. Boom. Like you say, 2 guys caught in there that time.
73-69. The Sonics by 4. 23 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. Second game of the back-to-back night for the Sonics. Showing a little bit here tonight. Smith will bring it across. Smith. Checked by Tony Brown, the 7-year pro from Arkansas. Brown is up on Smith, searching it. Smith comes off the Devos pick, feeds over to Threet. Threet, back step jumper, he'll let it go. High-arcing shot, rattles in. Threet with 21. 73-71 at the end of the third. Johnson will hoist one up from midcourt. It'll fall wide right, and that will end 3 complete in L.A. with the Sonics leading by a deuce. 73-71 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. 73-71, the Sonics lead the Los Angeles Lakers here in the fourth quarter. Finals tonight, New York over Atlanta, 115-94. It was New Jersey over Milwaukee, 122-103. Washington beat Detroit, 119-85. Cleveland over Miami, 103-100. Indiana beat Boston, 101-97. The Clippers lose to Chicago, 114-103. Minnesota beats Dallas, 104-95. And in overtime, in San Antonio, Orlando wins 113-106 over the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs had just a game-and-a-half lead over the Sonics entering tonight's play.
Well, for the ball game, the Sonics are hitting 48%, the Lakers 49%, and a pretty even-up match there. And the turnovers has been pretty even up, too. The Lakers, with one more turnover, will have equaled their season high of 22. They have the whole fourth quarter to do it. Here we go.
With a basketball, sideline left, the Lakers and Tony Smith. Smith working on Tony Brown, sends it outside to Threet. Threet loops it to Teagle. Now the entry pass is thrown over the head of Payton, actually, who was trying to front Green, and Green extending his body back to the inline, lost it off the fingertips, out of bounds. Another Laker turnover. 22 on the night for the Lakers. They have tied their season high. 73-71, Sonics by 2. Here is Johnson. Fires a pass on the wing to Cage. Double teamed. Outside to Brown. Long jumper. No, not this time. Kemp went into the air. Was pushed to the floor. The foul is called inside on A.C. Green. First foul on Green. Keep in mind, Kemp is playing with 4 fouls in the third quarter. McMillan played all 12 minutes. Pierce played 10 minutes. Eddie Johnson played 8. Second half of a back-to-back. Right now, that is why McMillan is on that bench. 73-71, Sonics by 2. Just underway in the fourth quarter. Payton fires one over to Johnson. Now to Cage to the baseline. Up fakes Devos. Runs by. Sweeps him with the left hand. Missed the shot. Rebound grabbed by Kemp. He'll stick it right back up and in. Sean Kemp powering in 15 points. They'll give him a rebound on that as well. He has 12 for the night. 75-71, Sonics by 4. A minute is elapsed in the fourth quarter. Smith outside, right to left-hand dribble to the baseline. Step back jumper over traffic, swirls, comes out. Rebound taken by Green, stripped in midair, and grabbed out of the traffic there by Payton. He'll bring it across. In he comes. Nice pass to Kemp. Steps up with an easy right-handed jam. Sean Kemp with 17. Give the assist to Gary Payton. 77-71. The Sonics lead here by 6. Great way to bust out of the blocks with a minute and a half gone here in the fourth quarter. 3 outside with the left to right hand dribble. Scampers to the inline. Safe with sliding in there under some pressure applied by Gary Payton. Foul is on Payton for the push. It's his third.
Well, no matter how many times the Sonics have played against Dale Street in practice, knows every move. He's still a tough jitterbug to keep up with.
Boy, he is. He's got a lot of movement. Just like a Swiss watch. Oh, that's an old one.
Or a dancing Laker.
Down low to Green. Powers into the air. The ball is grabbed by Kemp, and they are tied up with a jump ball. That is a gutsy play by Kemp, playing with 4 fouls. He reaches out to grab it from Green, and they'll call a jump ball.
That was a great defensive play that time. He got the ball in plenty of time. That was a power play. Boy, it was almost like they were Indian wrestling, you know, with the hands that time, and Kemp won it.
Boy, relative to other calls they've made tonight, Sean Kemp got a break. So did the Sonics. They win the tap. Here's Payton down the wing. Payton comes off the pick of Kemp. Fires one over to Cage along the baseline. He'll leave it for Gary. Sideline right down low Johnson. Johnson double team. Tried to pick up the dribble. Lost it. And then tried to tap it outside. 3. Barely fouled by Eddie Johnson.
Well, Eddie Johnson reached out that time. It was unfortunate because as Eddie Johnson reached out to move Street back, if you're watching it on the instant replay, there, look, he pulled that shirt almost off. Street almost lost his underwear that time.
77-71, Sonics by 6. 10 minutes remaining in the ball game. Sedale 3 dances down the sideline. 3 looking inside for Divac. He tries a drop step, earns the inline, reverses one up from the hip, missed it, left it short. Kemp with his 13th rebound, clears it out to Payton. Touches over to Cage, pull-up jumper, yes, Michael Cage. He has been drilling a baseline jumper tonight. The Sonics lead by 8, 79-71, and a Sonic timeout. No, actually the Lakers called the timeout. With 9:40 left in the fourth quarter on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. .9:40 to go in the ball game, and the Sonics have opened up an 8-point lead, 79-71.
And they've done it with good movement of the ball, which is shown by assist. And the assist tonight, the Sonics, Nate McMillan has 9, Gary Payton has 8. Sonics have a 6-0 jump into this quarter with an 8-point lead right now. They have moved the ball a lot better. Now they can just hang on to that ball on the turnovers. The Lakers, by the way, a new season turnover high, 23 tonight, giving up 24 points.
Kemp has picked up 4 points and 2 rebounds here in the fourth quarter play. Remember, he was one of the catalysts in the fourth quarter run last night against Sacramento. 3 comes off a pick of Green. The pull-up 15-footer is good. Beautiful cash play. 3:23 for Sedale. 79-73. Sedale's had some big scoring nights this year. Had a 42-point outburst just about a month ago in New York when the Lakers beat the Knicks. Down on the blocks, Kemp back to the basket. Wades in deep on Green, double teamed outside to Brown, on the inline to Gary. Gary will bring it out, 5 on the shot clock. Street reaches in, pokes it free. Payton picks it up. He's got to lob up a shot, hit the glass, comes free. Divac with it. Divac to 3. Hippity hop dribble into the lane. The wraparound behind the back over to Teagle on the baseline. Covered by Brown, though. Brown forces Teagle to get rid of it to Sedale. Sedale checked by EJ. He'll let another one go. He got it. Look out. 3 for 25. Trying to shoot the Lakers back into it. They're within 4. 79-75. Brown down the wing. Pick and roll. Back to Cage. Cage up fakes. Glides inside. Trying to draw the foul. Can't. Shot comes up short. Divac to the rebound. And he is tied up and fouled. With 8:33 left here in the ball game. The Sonics lead is 4, 79-75. Cage gets the foul. It's his third.
Cage normally isn't a guy who will take that kind of a drive through traffic, take that kind of a shot. He forced it up just a little bit. Then you can see there he whacked him.
Boy, did he.
Whacked him across the arm and trying to get it back. And that, again, is a frustration type foul. When you made a play that doesn't go your way while you try to get it back in the wrong way sometimes.
13 foul on the Sonics, 8:25 to go in the game. 3. He loses. McMillan glides by, but McMillan from behind strips him of the ball. It comes free right to Ricky Pierce. Ricky Pierce will gallop across the midcourt stripe. Pierce shuffles his feet outside, glides into the right-hand dribble, forced out wide by Green in 3. They'll feed it over to Johnson, wide on the block, backs it on Teagle, sends it over to Cage, off his fingertips. Divac has got it. Turnover to the Sonics. Smith ahead, stops, left side, nearly walked, looking for a trailer. Ball poked away by Johnson. Smith back to get it, hands to Threet, into Green, and foul called. This will be before the shot.
Nate McMillan.
Yeah,
Nate kind of came up with a knee behind him that time. I think it was kind of an off-balance play. I think Nate was trying to decide whether to go around in front of him to block the pass away, and he brought the knee up and fouled him from the rear.
4th team foul on the Sonics, the 4th on McMillan. Cage will come out. Well, McMillan has got to be a little tuckered right now. He's out there going step for step with Sedale. He played all 12 minutes in the 3rd quarter. Threet down low. Divac's got into the air, stripped to the ball. Kemp has got it, sends it ahead to Pierce, but not before he is fouled in backcourt. The Lakers could see the breakaway coming, and he is fouled in backcourt. 3rd team foul on the Lakers, a non-shooting foul, so the Sonics will have to bring it up the floor and earn it with 7:49 to go in the game. Seattle leading by 4, 79-75.
Nate McMillan played 32 hard minutes at Sacramento last night. By the way, with Nate in the starting lineup, since both Kloppy and George Karl have taken over, the Sonics, when he has started, they are 15-5 when he's in the starting lineup.
McMillan fires one over to McKee. Out wide of the wing, checked by Green. McKee double team, sends it cross court to McMillan. He'll dribble, drive inside, draws to the fence, hands to Johnson, back to Nate, over to McKee, up fakes to the baseline, nice pass down low, Kemp posts up, turns it, rims it home with 2 hands. Big Sean with 19 on the jam. Good ball movement by the Sonics and an excellent pass by McKee. 81-75, Sonics by 6, 7:14 to go in the game. Threet on the right, down low, the lob pass to Smith comes off the rim. Grabbed by Green, went into the air and is wrestled and fouled. And if this is on McMillan, it's number 5.
That last bit of passing, I think, was the best movement and quick movement of the ball the Sonics had all night. The Lakers are not a great defensive team. They're a very good defensive team, and they did an excellent job in dropping off the men on the double teams. This time, as that ball goes inside, Laker A.C. Green getting the rebound off of that hard ball off of the backboard up there. He obviously got fouled, and A.C. Green a chance to go to the line.
Foul is on Eddie Johnson. It's his 2nd. Green to the line. The free throw up. Yes.
Well, not wishing Eddie Johnson any bad luck, but it's probably just as well Eddie got that foul instead of Nate because he could afford it with only a second.
You bet. 81-76, 7:09 to go in the ball game. The Sonics lead by 4. Green hitting the free throw. Green has 10. 81-77, 7:06 to go in the contest. McMillan will bring it across. Checked out around the 3-point perimeter by Threet. Skips it over to Eddie Johnson. Cuts into the left-hand dribble. Stops. Leads by Smith. Corkscrews one up and in with the right hand. Eddie Johnson with 16 points. He and Kemp have been the men off the bench. Between them, they've scored 35 points. Now Threet comes off the Green pick. Forced wide by Derek McKee. McKee is all over Threet. Threet double team by McMillan to McKee. McKee had a hand on it, lost it. Right out here to Teagle. 7 on the shot clock. Tried to flip it low to Green. Overthrew him and out of bounds. Turnover. Sonics will take it back on the Lakers. 25th turnover of the ball game.
Hal, they're going for a new record tonight. Well, at least they have their season record already. They had that when they got 23.
83-77. Sonics lead here by 6. McMillan hands off to Ricky Pierce. Pierce comes out at the head of the key, gets a screen from Derek McKee. Pierce glides off the pick, stops, speeds low. McMillan steps to the glass, gives off to Kemp, powers up into the air, and is fouled by Eldon Campbell.
Well, again, fans, you've probably noticed, those of you watching on television, and of course those who are seeing it here, that the Lakers are doing an excellent job of dropping back, sagging men back on the paint, and really packing it in. One of the reasons the Sonics are having trouble getting a lot of inside play. That time, Nate McMillan realized he'd probably got the shot blocked by A.C. Green, made a nice pass over to Kemp. Drive in, foul, here he goes.
Sean Kemp drops in the first one. The Sonics lead here by 7. Second one airborne. Missed it short. Derek McKee directs the rebound outside here with a tip of the left hand to Sean Kemp. Now McMillan will set the floor. Sonics with 18 on the shot clock. Pierce twists to the inline, sets his feet, leans in with the left-hander off the rim. It falls in. Ricky Pierce got a beautiful roll on that one. 21 for Ricky Pierce, and the Sonics lead now is at 9. 86-77. That equals their largest lead of the ball game. In the corner, Threet has got it down for the Lakers. They've got to get busy. 5:49 to go in the game. Threet chest passes across the head of the key over to Green. Now to Smith, down low, goes airborne. The ball tapped away. Foul called inside by Mike Callahan on the Sonics. It is on Sean Kemp. That is the 5th foul on Sean.
Well, here again on the drive along the baseline, nice play, and the Sonics did a great job triple teaming him, but there was going to be an obvious foul when you get that many men on a guy driving to the hoop. You know, by the way, Kevin, a lot of people probably think the Lakers are an easy touch right now. They had that long losing spell, losing 11 out of 13, but they won 8 of their last 12, and they've been playing much better ball lately, surprisingly, without both Perkins and James Worthy.
Perkins could come back, we're told. He's still on the injured list with a sprained left shoulder, but Worthy definitely out for the year. He was working out with the ball club today, however. Smith hits both free throws. Smith has 10. 86-79. Sonics by 7. 5:40 to go in the ball game. McKee out of backcourt, sends it ahead to Cage. Up to Johnson into the lane. Stripped to the ball by 3. It's loose to the corner. Pierce is after it. Green nailed him, spinning him around on the floor, and there is no foul called on that play. The Lakers will take over as Pierce was standing, or actually sitting, out of bounds. Oh, Green just nailed it. 86-79, Sonics by 7. Reed, right-hand side. Reed working with it, on top to Teagle. Now over to Smith. Tony Smith will send it inside to Green. He'll catch in traffic, stripped away. Poked out of there by McMillan and covered by Cage. McMillan up to Pierce, slants into the lane, takes a long stride to the glass, loops it up, won't go. Johnson, the left-hand follow, no. McKee can't handle it. It comes to Green. Green now to sit in 3. Freed outside, hesitates, glides inside of the left hand, stops. Over to Smith, open jumper. Got it. Tony Smith with 12, 86-81. 5-point Sonic lead, 4:52 to go in the game. McMillan, Manis, he played well. We'll bring it in the forecourt, challenges his man into the lane, loops it over to McKee. His hook shot is off the mark. Ball loose to the floor, scramble for it. Campbell saves it, but he had the right hand on the baseline. He reached out to brace himself and had the right hand on the baseline. Mike Callahan saw it. A good call by the official.
Yeah, you bet. The fans are booing it, but it was a very good call because the official was right on top of it. He had the hand out of bounds there, flat on the floor. We have a timeout called. 4:38 left in the game. The Sonics lead 86-81 here in the Sonics Broadcast Network.
4:38 left here in the ball game. 86-81. Good ball movement of the Sonics here in this fourth period has led them out to actually a 9-point lead that has now been whittled to 5. 50 turnovers between the two teams tonight. The Lakers 26, the Sonics 24. On the inbounds pass, Pierce flings it outside to McMillan. Now here's Eddie Johnson standing at the head of the key to Ricky Pierce, slants into the lane, goes to the rack, double team, double to Cage in the baseline, stripped by Threet, ball loose. Who's going to get it? The Lakers. Threet gambles out of backcourt, shovels his feet, in he comes left-handed lane. Good. Threet with 27. 86-82. Sonics by 4. 4:16 to go in the ball game. Sean Kemp is stripping out the warm-up. She'll come in a moment. In a moment for the Sonics. McMillan to Pierce, double team down to Nate. Up fakes. Flagged by Campbell. Down low to Johnson to the glass. He'll left-handed up and in. Eddie Johnson with 18. Well, George had to bring Sean over to the bench with the 5 fouls, but he is brought right back to midcourt now. He'll come in at the first dead ball opportunity. 3:51 to go in the game. Seattle leading the Lakers by 5. Teagle high on the right. Out to 3. Over to Smith. Up fakes on his heels. Into the lane. Double team. Hands to Campbell. Sidesteps McKee. Loops up the 8-footer on the run and won't go. Takes a long kick out of there. And we've got a loose ball foul called on the Sonics. It is Michael Cage, and it is his 4th foul. It is the 15th foul of the Sonics. The Lakers are now at the line at the 3:38 mark, trailing Seattle by 5, 88-83.
Well, this is the stage of the game. You know, the back-to-backers on the road. By the way, the Sonics have only won back-to-back games on the road once this year. That was at Washington and at Detroit, remember, back in November. And the legs going a little bit right now. The Sonics have to suck it up and go after it now for 3.5 minutes.
Green's free throw off the mark.
By the way, those turnovers by the Lakers not only is a high for this year, but that is an all-time Laker franchise high number of turnovers.
Green with a second. Nailed it. So Green splits the pair. He has 11. 88-84. Sonics by 4. 3:36 to go in the game. McKee across midcourt. Grabbed by Green. Actually pulled the jersey out of the pants. McKee hands out to McMillan. Nate out beyond the 3-point ring. Down low. Johnson turns. Sidelines up with a right-hander. He is muscled and dropped to the floor. Eddie's shot goes wide left, but he will head to the line. Eddie Johnson 85% on the year from the line. Has a chance to put the Sonics up by 6. 3:22 left in this game.
Well, the old fourth quarter players, Ricky Pierce, Sean Kemp, and Eddie Johnson, have come to the Sonics' rescue again tonight so far, and the Sonics have the chance to get out on top by 6.
Johnson's free throw is good. 19 for Eddie. Update with 3 minutes left in the game. Sacramento leading at Golden State, actually leading by 13 or 12 points, 97-85. Sacramento leading Golden State 97-85. 3 minutes left in that ball game. Second free throw by Johnson is good, and the Sonics lead by 6, 90-84. 3:17 left in the game. Laker ball. Teagle high on the left side. Teagle to three. Hesitates. Inside. Illegal defense called on the Sonics.
Well, the Sonics again this is something they've been working very hard on their switching and things like this. They are doing a lot of other different defensive tactics than what they were earlier. And I think what's happening is some of this is catching up with them right now because they're doing some very quick switching after their double teams and on defense. And I think this is some of the area at which they're getting trapped. They have not, by the way, had a lot of full court trapping tonight, but in the half court they've done their usual amount of trapping. And as Threet makes that free throw, it's 85-90, and we're back to action.
Threet has hit 11 of 19 from the field, 6 of 7 from the line. 28 points for Cedillo, 90-85. Sonics by 5, 3:12 to go in the game. Lakers bring it in bounds. Threet makes a hard cut off the Green pick, but he's corralled there by McMillan. Now Threet will skip it back to Green. Hesitates left, spins right to the baseline. Faraway jumper over McKee, not there. Campbell skies above Kemp for the rebound. Outside it comes to Threet. Threet works that ball between the wickets with a left to right hand dribble. Hands off to Smith in the air with a jumper. He canned it. Smith has 14, 6 here in the period. He's had a nice fourth quarter. Sonics by 3, 2:41 to go in the game. Still anybody's contest. Nate McMillan will take charge of the basketball. Johnson and Kemp on the weak side are outside the three-point perimeter. Two-man play. Pierce sends it low to McMillan. On his drive to the hole, Campbell deflects it off glass. McKee sends it up. It's loose. Kemp tried to fight free of traffic and head into the air, but he is pinned to the floor. And a foul is called in there on the Lakers. It's on Threet, his fourth.
Apparently a non-shooting foul. That will be the team's fourth team foul also. No, that's their fifth. That puts them over the limit now. On that replay, a vicious scramble on that on the board battle there. Kemp had it knocked away, and then it was picked up down below, but the foul had already been called. Ricky Pierce was the final one who looked like he was going to go for an easy layup, but the whistle had blown, and Kemp goes to the line.
Sean Kemp tonight sends the free throw through. He has 20 points. Sean Kemp, 20 points, 13 rebounds, 21 points on the free throw for Kemp. Sean Kemp has picked up 8 of his 21 here in this fourth quarter of play. 92-87 on the strength of 2 Kemp free throws. The Sonics lead is 5, 2:15 to go in the game. Smith, far side, sends it out to Threet on the point. Eludes Pierce into the key. Picked up by McMillan. He is double teamed. Threet needs help. Guns it over to Smith. 5 in the shot clock for Smith. With 4, with 3. Over to Campbell with 2. Does not get off the shot. They do to Smith. He's down deep. Count the basket. Smith will lay it up and in, and he is fouled to boot and will go to the line. The Lakers continue to hang by a thread. 16 for Smith.
Boy, I tell you, the Lakers don't have a Magic Johnson or Worthy, but some of these other guys coming off the bench are doing it. Tony Smith so far tonight with 16 points in the ball game. That's well over his normal average. Smith normally averages only, about 4 points per game.
Smith is at 4 for 4 from the line tonight. A 68% shooter from the stripe. Smith, the 2-year player from Marquette, sends this one up and off the mark. They crash for the rebound. It is deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Tony Campbell. Seattle will bring it ahead with 1:49 to go in the game. The Sonics leading by 3, 92-89. Well, a win tonight would give them a 2.5-game lead over the Clippers, a 3-game lead over the Lakers, and they would win the season series with the Lakers 3-1. McMillan to Johnson raises up. Long jumper for EJ. Short. Grabbed by McKee on the rebound. He'll send it back outside to Eddie. Eddie on the baseline. Will dispatch a long lead, looping pass out here to McMillan. Cross-court it comes to Pierce. 92-89. Sonics by 3, 1:36 to go. Pierce pick and roll. Goes to Kemp. Skips it across to McKee. 10 on the shot clock. Long jumper by McKee. An air ball. Grabbed on the inline by Johnson. Spiked it off the foot of Smith out of bounds. It will roll out of bounds, and the Sonics will take it. With 4 on the shot clock, Diane Cannon is livid.
She has nothing to say about
on the floor. Boy, 1:26 to go in the game. 92-89. Sonics by 3 and a timeout on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Well, let's take a look at a great play brought to you by cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft, taking the country by storm. Time running down. Tony Smith inside after the play had obviously broken down. Got the field goal, but missed the free throw, and the Sonics lead now is 3 with 4 on the shot clock and a minute 26 to go in the game.
Tell you, Tony Smith has been a big man. That 16 is his season high for the Lakers, and he's been really the guy off the bench that they've needed to keep the spark and keep him in this game tonight.
And Sedale Freed has popped in 7 of his 28 here in the quarter. It's been the 2 guards. McMillan will bring it in bounds now for the Sonics. Remember, 4 on the shot clock, a minute 26 in the game clock. McMillan looking for a man. Sends it to McKee. McKee beyond the three-point perimeter. Dribbles in, stops, leads 15-footer away. Rattles short. Rebound. Grabbed by Byron Scott. Scott has had a long breather on the bench. Scott, Smith, and Threet, along with Campbell and Green on the floor. Sonics with Pierce, McMillan, Kemp, Johnson, and McKee. Lakers use the time. A minute 7 remaining in the game. 92-89. Threet bluffs the pass low. Got McMillan up on tiptoes. Tried to steer it by Camp. McMillan recovers beautifully. Threet sends it out to Smith. Glides by Pierce into the lane. Pull-up jumper. No. Rebound Smith the follow. Yes. Tony Smith. 18 points for Smith. 10 in the quarter. 92-91. Sonics by 1. 53 seconds remaining in the game. Ricky Pierce backpedals in front of the Laker bench. Slants in, double teamed, over to McMillan. Sonics in use clock, 13 on the shot clock. Crowd chanting defense, down low, Johnson turn, following jumper. Yes, Eddie Johnson! 22 points for EJ. And quickly the Lakers call a timeout. Eddie with a huge shot, 94-91. Sonics by 3, 38 seconds remaining here in this ball game. Timeout called, but we'll keep the action right here. Johnson tonight, Bob, 9 of 17 for 22.
Well, Eddie, you know, had a big night. He had a big fourth quarter against Sacramento last night, and regularly through the season, sometimes when Ricky is off, Eddie is on. Sometimes it's been the other way. But between those two guys, these two veterans have really helped carry the Sonics in fourth quarter scoring a lot this year. And, of course, Sean Kemp has given the team that great emotional lift. And right now at 94-91, the Sonics down the stretch. And a lot of people are probably going to take a look at this game and see all of these turnovers. What do we have? The 26 and 5. That's 51 turnovers combined. Yeah, that does not make for a good basketball game as such, technically speaking. But as a contest, since so much is riding on this ball game tonight, the fans have to be looking at every move, at every play, listening to everything that is happening with a lot of intense interest, because it does mean so much as to who wins this ball game. If the Lakers win it, boy, they are right back in it. A game back of the Sonics here as far as their playoff is concerned. But the Sonics, if they win it, put a little distance. And Seattle has some tough games on the road coming up. They need this one.
Indeed they do. This copyrighted broadcast presented by the authority, the NBA, and the Sonics, intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of the game without the express written permission of the NBA and the Supersonics is prohibited. The Sonics have tied the Lakers for the best road record coming into tonight's play at 18 and 19. The Sonics right now are tied for the 5th best record on the road, most number of wins in a season. If they can come to 500, wouldn't that be beautiful on the road? They, with a win tonight, and the 43rd win would tie San Antonio in the win column. It would only be a half game behind San Antonio for the 5th best spot over in the Western Conference. Couple of scores: Utah 101, Phoenix 82. 5 minutes left in that game. And with less than a minute to play, Sacramento leading in the Bay Area, leading Golden State 102-98 here in Los Angeles, California at the Forum. Sonics lead by 3. 37 seconds to go, and the Lakers bring it in bounds. Threet on the sideline, challenged by McMillan. Back steps for 3, lets it go, rim short, rebounded Eric McKee. 29 seconds to go in the game. Pierce double team. Now they send it to McKee. Both good foul shooters. Threet lunging in, trying to get at it. McKee sends it down the sideline right to Green. Threet sets up beyond the three-point perimeter. 17 seconds remaining. Seattle by 3, 94-91. Over to Smith. Smith cuts in hard, dribble drive, lays it up. Shot deflected in there by Kemp. Picked up off the glass by Johnson. Fouled from behind and backcourt by Tony Campbell. Eddie Johnson will go to the line with the Sonics leading by 3, 94-91. 7 seconds remaining in this game. Rather appropriate and apropos. The Sonics with 26 turnovers on the last turnover, I suppose anyway, there's 7 seconds remaining, would give the Lakers yet another chance to tie this game on the three-point shot.
You know, Kevin, you and I were talking. You especially commented earlier in the ball game on the keys that the Sonics would have to out-rebound the Lakers tonight. They have 37 to 29, or 38 to 29, and on the free throw as he makes it, the Sonics lead by 4. They're going to call a timeout. But I was going to say that Michael Cage, for the 4th consecutive game against the Lakers this year, is in double rebound figures with 10. Sean Kemp has 14. Now, if the Sonics can hold on and win this, they will have then won the season series from all of those teams that they could conceivably be in a tiebreaker with. The Clippers, Houston, and the Lakers. And that could be a very meaningful thing as you look at that schedule down the stretch.
Actually, you look at this one, and sure, it puts you 3 games into the lead, but actually, it puts you 4 games up over Los Angeles, because they would have to have one more win than you would at the end of the year.
Right.
Because you have obviously won that tiebreaker there, the head-to-head meeting. 95-91, Sonics by 4 as Johnson hits the free throw. Boy, Sean Kemp's had another productive night, 22 points, 14 rebounds, and I believe he was the man that got a piece of that Smith offering on the dribble drive. As Bob mentioned, 11 points and 10 rebounds for Cage. McMillan has 11 assists and 5 steals tonight to go with his 8 points. Here's Johnson to the line. Drilled it. Eddie Johnson has 24 points. He scored 10 here in this 4th period. And the Sonics, with 2 Johnson free throws, send the Laker fans scurrying to the freeways. 96-91. The Sonics lead the Lakers here by 5, and it looks like to me the Sonics will even their road mark at 19-19 on the year.
All right, Professor. Can they light the green light on the Space Needle?
I think so. Let's take a look at the Western playoffs. April 3rd. The Lakers, if it were to occur today, as of today, April 3rd, the Lakers would take on Portland. San Antonio, right now the 5th seed, would take on the 4th seed Phoenix. The number 2 seed, the Utah Jazz, would take on the Clippers. The number 7 seed, Golden State, would be playing the Seattle Supersonics. That's number 3 against number 6. Now the East, that's where it's really interesting. Miami would face up with Chicago. Detroit would face off with Boston. Detroit, I believe, would have the home court advantage there. Indiana would, of course, have to travel to Cleveland, and Atlanta would have to travel to take on the Atlantic Division winner, the New York Knicks. That's if the playoffs were held today. That's a great matchup there.
Well, it is, you know, and there's an interesting thing as fans watch it, and I know we get a lot of calls on the 5th quarter afterwards. Which team do you think the Sonics would be better off playing if they have an opportunity? But it's from the firing pan into the fire. If they win and go ahead, they go from Golden State to Phoenix in the playoffs. Now, the Sonics home games, well, they have the Lakers, Phoenix, Minnesota, and Sacramento. Out on the road, they have some tough ones. They have, after the Lakers tonight, they have not necessarily in order, but they have Phoenix, Golden State, and Portland. So nothing is easy as you look at it, although the Sonics, at least on their home games, do have 2 sub-500 teams, Minnesota and Sacramento, coming in.
96-91, the Sonics lead here by 5. After the half, the Sonics were actually up by 5, 53-48. Lakers came back and pulled it within 2 at the end of 3, 73-71. Sonics then went on an 8-0 burst to take a 9-point lead at 1 point here in the 4th. But the Lakers came right back, though. Give them credit. Roddy Divac will bring it in bounds. Swings it to Campbell. Backs in. Lost the dribble. Goes back to get it. Turns on a hurried shot from 15. He missed it. Pierce lands with a rebound. The Lakers will not contest Ricky Pierce, and that will end the ball game. 0-0 showing here, and the Sonics win. 96-91. Back in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Sonics win it tonight, 96-91, and a huge win to put the Sonics 10 games over the 500 mark now at 11 games at 43-32, an even mark now at 19-19 on the year. And again, a huge 4th quarter tonight, as they did last night at Sacramento, although they did not fall behind by the 11 as they did to Sacramento. And the instrumental parts, McMillan, Ricky Pierce, Sean Kemp, and Eddie Johnson with a big 4th quarter as well.
Well, you know, Kevin, this again was just another gutty performance as far as I'm concerned by the Sonics. Back-to-back on the road. It's only the 2nd time this year they've been able to win back-to-back games out on the road. Now, to me, the interesting thing about tonight, and I've always said as you approach the playoffs, how you win on the road is very important. The Sonics have now won 5 of their last 6 out on the road. Many of these over winning ball clubs, and their 19-19 record now out on the road is tied for the 4th best all-time road record in the 25-year history of the franchise.
Good play inside defensively tonight for the Sonics. They were stripping the basketball away from the Los Angeles Lakers in deep, and of course that led to some transition baskets. Sean Kemp was busy. He had 24 points tonight, to actually 22 to go with his 14 rebounds. The Sonics did have some problems with the turnovers, folks. 26 for 27 Laker points. But on the flip side, the Lakers turned it over 26 times, and the Sonics scored 31 points off of those turnovers. So they really won that war. Big win tonight for the Sonics. Again, 96-91, the first win the Sonics have had in L.A. since April of '87. Put some distance between them and the Lakers, and the Sonics win the season series. 96-91. We'll say goodbye to King Television 5 in Seattle, and we'll return to the Lakers' place here, the Great Western Forum, in a moment.